Hello, hello. I'm back from chilling. Yeah, yesterday we do quite a lot of things. Mainly just killing to fit on the bonus king and doing the other no event, which is quite nice. So today I will try to kill Empress of Life. The main problem is the Empress of Life only spawn in hollow biome, and we don't have any hollow biome. We do, but like the mixed biome between the jungle biome and hollow biome. So I'm planning to find the other thing, like the blue, what it called, right? The blue thingy, the blue solution. Oop, my bad. Oh, so nice. But I don't know where to get the blue solution. It definitely doesn't get from it from. I think the blue solution maybe from one of the NPC. I thought it's just from the big girl. He doesn't sell the blue solution. Unfortunately, yeah. Not the guy though. The guy sell dark blue solution. Oh, mushroom barrel. Wait, he sell curses? Curses pop. Magic with a card I can have you if a dryad maybe have a certainly play an enhancement here for a curse. What does it mean? Oh. Oh, what? Huh? Reroll enhancements. What do reroll enhancement mean? What do you mean you can? Oh, but you reroll the stat of enhancement, but only a certain stat, like this one. Oh. Kind of weird. I didn't know enhancement can be. Yes, the NPC basically sells stuff for you, which I no longer cannot get the payment anymore. I can just buy them, but it's quite expensive. 25 gold per finish a little bearable. No sweat, no. But now I kind of want just to buy the blue solution. I don't know how do you get blue. Yes, it play me doing the event, but I kind of need to farm to buy like the better version of the ballista. The reason I get the ballista mainly because of the uh what is that called? The knockbacks to basically clear the mob for one side. That is the same blue solution. Then was it? Yeah. Who's the blue solution? Sultan doesn't. Ah, fuck it, I want something on the side there while doing my own thing. Wow.
YouTube loves ads more than P. Diddy loves baby oil.
What the
They
hell?
have made so many decisions that all revolve around feeding people as many ads as possible and in many ways as possible. I'm sure all of you saw a few days ago they announced that they're officially fully rolling out the ads experience while a video is paused. So now when you pardon my phlegm, I had to go take care of business there. So now when you pause a video, you can be served an ad. They call it the pause experience. I love that nomenclature. That is so fucking
The
silly.
Paul experience.
This is the pause experience, which is why we're serving you a Dunkin' Donuts ad. But I'm not here just to focus on YouTube's abundance of ads. I'm here to talk
Damn,
about
so
its
annoying.
war on ad blockers. This is something that's been going on for a while now. There's been tons of mangled corpses left out in the street from this battle, and now there's been a new casualty. Me. So, I've noticed over the last few days, and I know I'm not alone, that YouTube has done a lot more to beef up its protocol against ad blockers. So, when I've been trying to watch videos on my account that is not a premium subscriber, I've been getting this notice. Video player will be blocked after one video. It looks like you may be using an ad blocker. Video playback will be blocked unless YouTube is allow listed or ad.
Dude, you want to know why people don't want to watch ad? Because there's too much of them. People would willing to watch ad if there are only a few. Dude, this is why I so comfortable watching ad back when like TV is a thing. Because back then, like, they had ad play every 30 minutes instead of every time you're doing some running. Most of the ad back then from the television, they just play it after every 30 minutes. Like, oh, there's a movie on. We're gonna be right back after the break. And in that break, they play ad. They play advertising. Everything is so nice. And now, look at this. It's so fast. Everything just like, oh yeah. Play ass out nowhere. So
blocker is disabled. Ads allow YouTube to be used by billions worldwide. You can go ad-free with premium, and creators can still get paid from your subscription. YouTube lets you get 3 free samples in there with your ad block still enabled, but they hate ad block. They hate that more than P. Diddy hates security cameras. So they give you these 3, but once you finish your rations, they shut you down. They put the kibosh on that. They give you this. Ad blockers violate YouTube's terms of service, and then it's the same bullet point list there, and then you can't watch any videos going forward unless you disable it or pay for YouTube Premium. Now, this isn't new. I remember this rolled out like a year ago as kind of a soft launch where some users experienced this, but not all users. And uBlock Origin was able to get around this no problem. Now, I wasn't using uBlock Origin. I had this happen briefly a year ago, or maybe it wasn't a year ago. Time moves so differently when you hit 30. It's like entering into a fucking black hole. Everything's all cattywampus when it comes to the perception of time. But whenever it was, months ago, I had this happen occasionally for like a day or so, just using normal ad block, and then it went away. I'm guessing that it was just an experiment and they decided just to put it back in the fucking shoebox or whatever. But now we're back at the rodeo, and this has been going on for 4 days for me. So I decided, let's see if uBlock Origin works. So I grabbed uBlock Origin, and sure enough, it gets around this no problem. But I can't help but wonder, how long will it last? Because YouTube is constantly trying new ways of feeding you ads and breaking ad blockers. Like, they clearly villainize it. It's very obvious. They're not pulling any punches. They're not trying to hide or anything. They are saying, if you use an ad blocker, it's against our terms of service. It violates it. So the fact that uBlock works is probably something they're not overly thrilled about. And I remember a few months ago, Mudahar made a video about how YouTube is experimenting with server-side ad injections. So, like, they are constantly trying to innovate in ways to blast your ass with ads. And right now, uBlock is able to put, like, a shield on your butt cheeks to stop this from happening, but will it always work with getting around YouTube's ads? I have no clue. I'm way too fucking stupid to have the answer to that question. Why are you even asking me? I struggle to remember how to do long division sometimes. Clearly, I wouldn't have the answer to this one. But I do think YouTube is probably having like an entire dedicated fish tank, all focused on brainstorming how to break uBlock Origin and every other ad block to force people into either paying for YouTube Premium or allowing ads on the site. What I do know for sure is that the internet itself is unusable without an ad blocker. Period. Full stop. I'm not being exaggeratory. It is literally not possible to use the internet without an ad block. Go to any mainstream journalist website, try and read an article without an ad blocker. You will find maybe 2 sentences that are broken up by 5 ads, an auto-playing ad, a banner ad, audio ads that play in the background. You can't get any of the content on the internet anymore without an ad block. It doesn't exist. The ads are the content. Like, that is the internet now. It's fucking tragic. And YouTube is bad
The aberration.
without an ad block.
Yeah, little
because
bit of aberration.
unskippable ads out the wazoo, ads that play even when you pause a video now, like it's excessive. I know I already made a video on this topic like 6 months ago about how the internet doesn't function without an ad block anymore, but it needs to be driven home just how bad of an experience that is. It's not even an experience. At that point, the only experience you're getting is like brainwashing. It's like the ads are used as a form of hypnotism against those that traverse the cyberspace without protection. Like if you don't have the ad block condom on, you're fucked. Like you're walking away with the worst diseases imaginable.
God damn it.
It's awful. It cannot be overstated how awful using the internet without an ad block is. So when it comes to YouTube in particular, it's not as easy as just like, oh, okay, I guess I'll go ahead and turn off my ad block. It's not that big of a deal. It is a big deal, because then if you're trying to watch like a 10-minute video, that'll turn into like a 20-minute experience, because it'll be 10 minutes of trying to watch that video with 10 minutes of ads like slapped on top of it. That's exaggeratory. I know it's not to that extreme, but it is a much, much worse experience. And it's not like getting YouTube Premium is free or anything. That's 14 clams a month. That's an expensive subscription, especially when everything in the world is subscription-based now.
Yeah.
Fucking subscription-based oxygen access at this point. Like, everything is subscription-based, so it's $14 on top of whatever other things you're subscribed to. It's not a low amount of money by any means at all. And YouTube without an ad block is just kinda dog shit. It really is. Nobody wants to be fed a ton of ads that they can't skip, they have no control over, and you can't escape from them. You can't even pause a video and be safe from the ads. They'll come through and fucking jump scare you, even on the pause screen now. So it's not like a super simple thing to just be like, I'll go ahead and allow it. One tactic I've seen used a lot when it comes to this, the spin that gets put on it occasionally, is if you use an ad block, you're taking money away from the creators. By turning your ad block off, you're supporting them, you're able to help them get more money from the content they create.
Really? I don't think
the
so.
thing is, I think the majority of creators on the platform really don't give a shit about that. I've seen most of them say like, hey, you need to have an ad block. Like, I think most creators are
you definitely
very
need an
well
ad block.
aware
There's so
that
many
a
shit that...
user having a positive experience while watching their content is more important than that user giving them a couple extra doubloons because they got fed 12 ads. If someone's trying to watch your video and it becomes like a headache, they're probably not going to come back. And that's much worse for the creator. So I don't think that it's necessarily the most creator positive thing in the world to turn your ad block, to watch every ad and everything like that. And I don't think there's many creators that push for that either. Now, I'm stupid, but I'm not too stupid to understand the importance of ads. It's what puts money in the pockets of YouTube. It's what allows it to exist, and it is what creators make the bulk of their revenue from. Like, I get how important ads are, but what I would do, instead of focusing on finding new ways of making intrusive ads to ruin the user experience, I would instead focus on just having everything be as user-friendly as possible. I don't think there's a single person in the world that has a problem with skippable ads. You just get a few seconds of an ad, and if it's a good ad, you might stick around and finish it and see what it's actually advertising, but a lot of people aren't interested, so they'll skip it. And having it be unskippable doesn't necessarily help the product. If someone already is tuned out, doesn't care about it, and now they're annoyed because they can't skip it, they're not going to be getting that fucking product. At least, I don't think so, and a lot of them are just going to click out of the video anyway because now it's become a chore to even get to the video. Twitch is the biggest culprit of that phenomenon, where if you're watching a stream and you get fed like 5 30-second ads in the middle of the broadcast, most people leave the stream or get up and go do something while the ads are playing. They're not even watching the ad. So your marketing push has failed. Like, I don't think it's effective to do that.
Yeah, I think people probably
most
hit
effective
more.
ads are the skippable ones.
Like, if you hit more,
someone,
if they're watching something and they're an app, they'll probably hit your product.
I'm finally feeling better from COVID a little bit, but man, I still sound like I'm hitting a new puberty. But skippable ads, you can get someone's attention in a short period of time. If you have like a banger ad, or if your product's a banger,
like, I think they kind of
you
know
can
it
get
because
someone
they
to
make
actually sit through an ad if it's entertaining and advertising something that they might be interested in. But you could always just give them the option to skip it for those that aren't interested. I don't think there's any benefit to someone that's not interested sitting through your whole ad anyway. I don't think so, and skippable ads are just the best for users. Like, it's not close. Pausing a video and getting served an ad, I don't think anyone will ever positively engage with an ad that's served that way. I can't imagine a world where someone pauses a video, gets served a Dunkin' Donuts ad, and they're like, you know what? They're right. I need to order some Dunkin' right now. Like, I imagine
I don't think they don't like it. Okay.
God.
Most
I
people will
imagine a
die.
lot of people will get served an ad like that and be like, man, fuck Dunkin' Donuts. Like, it's just, I don't think these are effective ad placements in the first place. Like, I don't think it helps advertisers, and it's an overall detriment to the user experience of the platform. So, yeah, I think ad blocks are crucial to the internet in the modern age. And YouTube waging war against them and doing their best to shut that shit down, I think is horrible. Anyway, though, that's about it. See ya.
Oh, dang. Yeah, main problem is just like the amount of ads they play, not the.
So I don't know if you guys knew this, but the PS5 Pro was originally only going to be $500.
$500.
But because of Concord, now it's $700 because they have to make the money back.
Oh.
I know that because I'm reading a YouTube thumbnail that says that. So it means it must be true. I don't believe that? Well, what do you mean you don't believe it? It literally says it on the screen. Is this the PS5 Pro?
Actual gameplay.
Oh, wow.
What game?
Oh, wow.
Hi, I'm Mark Cerny, and I'm excited to be here. At PlayStation, we know play has no limits. Unless you own discs, then it does. Tangible, circular limits.
Yeah.
To reflect
True.
this, we've limited the supply of external
That's
this
smart because you would put them sideways.
I got
disk
life
drives
steal,
over time
and I had like
added a premium to the prices.
150
Which means
damage.
we had to jack up the price
Yeah,
of digital
so yeah.
games to match.
Ooh,
Even though
true.
there are no pesky manufacturing costs involved,
That's
like a
right.
disc, case, or original artwork. Also, you wouldn't complain about being charged a
Yeah.
premium for
It
your
is
precious
so
hard
busted.
copies. You're
What
welcome.
is it?
How funny is it that this video is obviously fucking dated, and it's still the most recent Grand Theft Auto?
Once upon a time, game devs and publishers were happy to make a couple $1,000,000 for a finished product. But the dreams of the developers are bigger than that, and the
That's right.
publishers
They
are
want to
even
buy a
bigger.
job.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that leads to an aspect of modern gaming that we're all familiar with. Blockbuster bloat.
Ooh.
These days, just like the movies,
I
games
need to
take a
return the
ton of
whole
money
thing.
to get made.
Every game has to be the new Grand Theft Auto. Every game,
Wait.
every movie has to be the new MCU. Like, isn't it? It's actually
be
so
similar
sad
to
for
stuff
me to
for
see
everything.
other like movie studios try to
They
copy
manipulate-
the MCU. It's
don't know
just
who's-
pathetic. Like, especially DC Comics
Fucking dog.
trying to. It's
Oh,
just
it's the game.
so embarrassing.
Only douchebags have that much ready money to invest, and
The
they want it
Justice
back
League.
with a hefty
Oh,
profit
God.
after. So suddenly, every game has to succeed.
Of course.
Bigly. And you have to listen to the douchebags'
Flame
ideas.
flow.
Ooh,
Now,
100K.
every creative decision has to pass a committee to ensure
Normal video
maximum
game on
appeal
PlayStation.
to the largest number of possible
That's right.
audiences. Unfortunately, when appeal is your only goal,
Mm-hmm.
satisfaction often falls by the wayside.
He's saying that peacocks can't satisfy anybody. That's not true. I've seen a peacock in real life. They're pretty cool.
How did you get the blue solutions?
Yeah,
out
they are pretty good.
you
I've seen
cannot
one of
crack
these
it.
things, man.
there? The
I
most
even
things you can
because
just-
I went to one of them. I was doing like this, to try to make them do
I
it.
want to kill Impressive Light, but the Impressive Light doesn't drop.
It didn't work.
You might be thinking, you're right, modern games
it-
already
nah,
look great.
yeah.
We don't need to pay $700 for better graphics. What we need is better
I've never seen someone that plays Horizon. Like, is there anybody here that actually plays this game?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Because like
Not
I
gonna lie,
hear
like,
about it all the time,
yeah, but you don't see
and I
people play
wanted
it.
to. I want to try it out because it's like
Even like Monster Hunter,
this
but
game.
with the robot.
I hear about it all the time. I never see anybody play it or care about it or talk about it ever.
better graphics. What we need
God,
is
that
better
was such a
stories,
good fucking fight.
more creative gameplay, and
That
more
game sold the
affordable
PS5.
games. We need passionate game
Oh.
developers who love the art of gaming, not just those driven by profit.
Demon Souls, there it is.
I say, fuck that noise. It's not
True.
$700, it's $6.99.
That's right.
Bro, no one is holding a gun to your head.
That's the oldest PlayStation fanboy.
I'm sure an Xbox Series X will run GTA 6 at 60 FPS no problem. Just kidding.
Yeah.
It won't run at 60 FPS on the PS5 Pro either.
I love how like 60 FPS is still being used as the benchmark.
Like, I really think that for playing a video game, my experience playing a video game is like massively improved when I'm playing at 120 plus FPS.
High FPS is
Like,
fine,
I am having a
but I don't
genuinely
want to
better
get past like
experience.
200 FPS.
My
I-
point is, nobody is forcing you to buy this
I'm at
console,
165
okay?
right now.
This is for the 5% of gamers out there that have enough money to enjoy the deep background of their games.
That's right. Yeah, this is what people really want.
Yes, you'll have to
I don't think
upgrade
anyone
your
pay
screen
attention to
before you can
backgrounds that much.
appreciate it.
Wait. Yeah, actually, wait a second. Yeah, both of these suck.
How did you summon it? Is the overworld with in overworld? Is it
And they will. I'm
Oh,
fucking
wow.
Ahab, son. And we're here hunting whales.
Oh.
Some people don't want to change their lives. Some people just want to escape them.
fuck it? I'm
You
just
see
gonna
that?
God
kill.
damn, bro. That goes so hard.
I'm just gonna skip the impressive life.
So I guess this might be for like the Dreamcast or like the GameCube or something. Because they got N60. Oh, wait, no, is that? I think it's an N64 controller, right? Oh, man. Midnight releases? Yeah.
Only truly limitless
Dreamcast?
things are
Is it
cancer,
Dreamcast?
your collective wallet, and our desire to dive in there and swim around
Yeah,
like
no,
Scrooge
you're right.
McDuck. It's what we call the Big Three. And with the Big Three involved, the results can be pretty amazing. Which brings us to our new guiding principle. Pay has no limits.
Play.
Man.
Oh my god, I'm.
Do you
hit the
want to
low
go
wrong
through
one.
all
Man.
that hard work, the brushing the teeth
Yeah, never
and
mind.
wiping the ass of your soul, so you can actually have a nicer life?
Healthy
Or
young
do you
man.
just want a shiny digital world where you can go to admire the ray tracing? When
Man.
Give me yes, son.
So
Undead.
that's what PlayStation thinks of you. Yep.
your real
Oh
life
shit, there
gets
you go, one
too
right
That's
here.
the user right there.
Removing that decision, or at least narrowing that divide, is one of the key targets for the PS5 Pro.
Did we kill the
There's
solar one?
45% more compute power than the PS5,
Wow.
but we made it 75% more expensive. It's $500 for the hardware with the
Huh?
$199
What
Concorde
the
tax.
hell is this
That's
spawn?
right.
If we sell just 1 million units, we'll almost fill the Concorde-shaped hole in our corporate hearts. You mofos are gonna pay for that situation
One
way
player
or the other,
online.
and the PS5 Pro.
I wonder if, like, if the PlayStation, people at PlayStation are, like, mad at the fans because the fans didn't buy Concord. They're like, I can't believe that they don't like it, man. Fuck. The Concord tax? Yeah.
Can make a real difference. Also, that 45% compute is only in the GPU, so your CPU is still gonna bottleneck anything more resource intensive than 20.
This is always one of my favorite things, is when people don't really understand how computers work, and they just look at one thing, and they say, wow, this one thing is really good. Like, my computer has a lot of RAM. Which is like, I get that. Like, I used to think that was like 14, right? Or 15. Because, like, back then, I didn't really know a lot about computers. But, like, man, you do that? No, I don't. What do you mean? I do not.
Feels
They have like a state-of-the-art PC
Oh, so nice.
with an Intel processor.
The zip weapon from the
19's
starboard mod
control.
fucking busted.
Speaking of, let me wrap this up by giving you a quick look at a number of games running on the new console. Behold, the wonder of our new pisser technology. Pisser, Enhance. Enhance again. Enhance again. Pisser. Enhance. Enhance again. See that?
Oh, this
It's
is
as
good.
crisp as a
Oh,
$699
Wow,
bill,
you can
baby.
see the money.
Simply put, the PS5 Pro comes in at
What is it?
only $699. Sure, your
November
disk
7th.
drive is another
There's so
$80.
many
We
items
always
on
display it
the
vertically in our advertising, so
Now,
you're gonna want the
we can
vertical
craft
stand for
even
another
more
$30, and
Of
that's
course.
only $809 all in.
No,
Liberation.
like by the time that you're out of checkout, you're down $1,000.
Huh?
You're down $1,000 because you're
Yeah, let's
buying
read.
the game. You're
What
buying a game,
been
you're
getting
buying
about
the console,
the
you're
month of
buying the
2 weeks
stand,
now.
you're buying the disk drive, you're paying for shipping, maybe, you're paying for tax. Yeah, you maybe get an
Did it
extra
explode when you
controller.
hit a
You could
target?
be getting the online. You're done.
No, it doesn't
Like
hit.
you're out $1,000 on this. By the way, I need to buy one of these. I'm gonna unbox them on the
I would
first
just
day.
sacrifice your health.
Maybe
to
I
do
should
damage.
unbox the PS5 Pro and then I should take it out in my backyard and blow it up.
It actually did a lot of damage too, so yeah.
That would be sick as fuck. It
Root
would
weapon
be.
doesn't.
It would
I
be
didn't
really fucking
like it,
funny. Get a flamethrower and do that? Yeah. Sponsored by Sony. I would be
We
mad,
know
yeah.
it sounds like a
Do
lot
you
of
remember
money.
when Chance did the do
Hola.
you remember when Chance, whenever Pokemon card unboxings were really popular?
Ooh, it explode
And
now?
he started he bought like a $20,000 box of Pokemon cards.
What was it one?
And
It's
then
still
he
sick.
got an expensive one, and he folded it and tore it in half and put it in like a bowl of oil or something. He took like a bite out of it.
Oh, I remember. Yeah,
The Charizard, yeah.
the golden
Just
Charizard.
put it in the dirt.
Just to fight
Oh, it
consort
was
rat
lube.
ad
Oh,
at a
that's right.
reasonable frame rate.
Because I remember somebody sent
But
him a
we're
bunch of
only
lube.
doing this so when we announce the
That's pretty
PS6
nice.
is $999, no
Yeah.
disc drive option, featuring digital-only, online-only versions of the games you already love, with new always-on DRMs implemented that could shut down at any time we
Oh.
think fit in the future.
What is it?
It'll be
If
like
they
a
decide to.
second-tier system.
So that means I can have a
You'll
free
own that
dash? Means that
and be
that
happy.
means dash?
Wow.
Okay.
I've heard that before.
Sony. For the
Wait,
payers.
first, I need to see.
Man.
Power buttons sold separately.
This is how you share your games on PS4.
Oh, I need Vortex Fragment too.
Thanks.
God, there's just so many wood items.
It's crazy how good Sony was that generation. What the fuck happened to them? What the fuck, man?
Oh boy, the good old
Yeah.
days, am I right?
Just like
remember,
2014 or
everybody,
something.
One day, we're gonna look back at
It
these
just-
times as the good old days
Video
too.
games
May
went
the
downhill.
Lord
So,
have
yeah.
mercy on our souls.
God, that's bad.
Also, thanks to
That's
these
real
dudes
bad.
and dudettes, you Patreonos
Oh,
really
jeez.
do grease the wheel.
Ooh, Japanese urban legend. Dude, I want this third one.
Japanese myths, folklore, and urban legends are very unique and interesting mediums for storytelling. Beliefs, knowledge,
one of
history,
material?
and customs are passed down through these stories from
Sunset,
generation to
the
generation.
sun god.
We have things that are light-hearted, like Momotaro, the boy born from a peach discovered by an elderly, childless couple that goes on to defeat a band of Oni on Onigashima. Demon Island, with a talking dog, a monkey, and a pheasant. Kintaro, the golden boy who had strength, was raised by a witch, could talk to animals, and is depicted carrying a hatchet and a carp under his arm,
Didn't
which
he
is his
punch him
favorite
out?
fish. He defeated Shuten Doji, an Oni leader who was terrorizing the region of Mount Ue. Word of mouth was the original way for
Did a
myths,
celestial
urban
damage.
legends, and
So I think
folklore
I
to
can
spread,
use
whether
it,
that be
but
from
it
the
not
previously
consider,
stated generation to generation, place to
all the
place,
damage.
etc.
If I go
But
melee
because of the
only with
rise of
this
the
celestial,
internet,
right?
it's been given a new place to be shared, experienced, and created. And that brings us to urban legends that aren't so lighthearted. These are the horrors that keep children awake at night and make late night walks home alone in the dark all that more scarier. Hitori Kakurembo, Tomino no Jigoku, aka Tomino's Hell, The Red Room Curse, The Slip-Mouthed Woman, and much, much more.
Hell
Not
yeah.
only are these shared over the internet, but they're given a
Dude,
new form over forums
I like
and
the urban
videos.
legend because it's so
Stylized
cool.
Kitsune on YouTube has created a series in which Japanese urban legends and rituals are told through the analog horror lens. As of now, there are 5 videos in this series and they're quite the immersive experience. I really love these urban legends and the way they're presented in these videos, and we'll be covering volumes 1 and the most recent
look at the
video in
sign,
the series
punching.
about the slip-mouthed woman. And of course, I'll have Stylized Kitsune's videos and channel linked in the description for you to check out as well. So you'll learn a whole lot about these urban legends and rituals as we dive into the Japanese urban legends and rituals analog horror.
Ooh, look at the
After
speed.
that shadowy figure bolts at us, Volume 1 starts. We're then given a warning and title card that really sets the tone for what's to come. And then we get straight into things with Hitori Kakurembo. This translates to playing hide and seek by yourself. This is a famous game of hide and seek originating in Japan and is popular in
get
Japan
rapid.
and Korea. Just as the video explains, you perform a ritual in order to summon a spirit or oni to possess a doll, and then you play hide and seek with them. No matter if this is done right or wrong, this is an extremely dangerous and life-risking game. What you'll need is a stuffed doll with the limbs, a sack of uncooked rice, a pair of nail clippers, a hand sewing needle, red thread, a kitchen knife or a pair of scissors, a bathroom with a bathtub, a cup of water with salt, and a television. You would have also noticed the text "please stop" and "stop watching" appear too, like something is telling us to not proceed with our game of hide and seek. But as we see at the end of the requirements section, it's already too late. A translation of the Japanese we see here. After all, we were warned and told to proceed with caution, so what do we do now? Cut open the doll, remove the stuffing and replace the stuffing with the uncooked rice, and place a piece of your fingernail in the doll with the rice, stitch the doll up with the needle and thread, take the remaining thread and wrap it around the doll, tying both ends, fill the bathtub with water, set the sharp tool and cup of water with salt in your hiding spot. Name the doll, but do not give it your name, unless you want to be replaced. At 3 AM, when spirits are most active, or 12 AM and after, that's fine. Repeat the sentence, your name is the first it. Your name in brackets would obviously be your actual name. Other sources say to close your eyes while doing this as well. Submerge the doll in your bathtub, turn off all of your lights in the house and switch on the TV. Go to your hiding place and close your eyes and count to 10. Here comes the tricky part. You'll need to open your eyes after counting, hold your sharp tool and return to the bathroom. Remove the doll from the tub and say, "I have found you," doll's name. After stabbing it, say, "You're the next it," doll's name. Then return the doll to the bathtub. The way you announce that you're it and that the doll is it doesn't seem to be strict, as there are different ways it can be said as noted by similar instructions. You'll then have 10 seconds to go back to your original hiding spot and remain silent. If you do all of this right, then the game will start and the doll will start hunting you. Good luck. Do not turn on the lights, unlock any doors, play the game with people in your home, or leave your house. Leave your pets outside if you need to as well. This is a game between you and the doll. Don't cower out now. Giving up halfway through, playing for more than 2 hours as the spirit or oni inside of the doll will be extremely difficult to remove, letting yourself be caught, making unnecessary noises, and playing without following precautions will result in failure too. And so does not going back to your hiding spot in the allotted 10 seconds. If you need a failsafe, there's no rules regarding keeping windows open and unlocked, and no rules against having friends or relatives keep watch and be ready outside of the house. Even so, do you think the spirit or Oni is stupid? They'd be able to smell your failsafes from a mile away, so proceed with caution. But how do you finish the game? Well, once you find the doll, put the salt water in your mouth, spray it, or pour the salt water around the doll and say to the doll, "I win," 3 times. After that, let the doll dry up and then burn it and discard it immediately so it isn't repossessed. And then, the game is over.
So you basically play hide and seek with
It's
the
a
actual...
simple game you can try if you want, with
actual rules.
caution, mind you. Although, I'm a little superstitious, so if I was you, I wouldn't try it. After all, what do you think will happen if you break any of the strict rules? If you mess things up, do you think the spirit or Oni would just let you off with a warning or ask to try
they're gonna
again?
chase you.
Not playing by the rules can result in death, and with how strict these rules are, you're bound to accidentally break one of them eventually. So, like I pointed out, it would be a good reason to have friends or relatives outside your home ready to help you out when things go wrong, and to have a window open ready for an escape. But the reaction of the doll and how successful you'll be may vary. It would also be a good idea not to turn around while going back to your hiding spot, as you'll probably see something you shouldn't, and if the spirit or Oni catches you looking at it, it's over. Oh, and obviously, don't play with anyone in the house or play the game with anyone else because they'll be at risk of possession. Don't fall asleep hiding either, because that would be silly. Your body will be forfeit for the doll to possess. And don't try to leave your home because the doll will find you one way or another. Oh, and of course, it goes without saying, but don't give the doll your name or the name of someone you know unless you want to risk cursing yourself or them.
Bruh.
Domino no Jigoku, the cursed poem of death. If this sounds familiar, then you might have heard me cover it in my Cursed Media Iceberg video. The poem was written by Saijo Yaso for his 27th collection of poems, Sakin or Gold Dust in English, in 1919. Japanese urban legends state that you are only to ever read this poem in your mind and never aloud. As it goes, whoever reads this poem aloud will have tragic things happen to them which can result in death. It's been said that numerous people had claimed that nothing happened to them, and there were several participants who failed to share their results. These were found posted to 2chan, a Japanese text board site. In my Cursed Media Iceberg video, I said that saying it in Japanese is recommended over the English translation. I guess that's for a better chance of something happening. What I didn't cover in my video was the origins of the image associated with the poem. It's a cropped version of a painting by Yuko Tatsushima called "I Can No Longer Be a Bride." It was made after she had become a victim of... The painting's title and the painting itself refer to the difficulties of a Japanese woman's marriage and reputation following their due to the perception of a... See that sealed. You'll feel an unknown presence in the room and you'll slowly be driven to... with the walls in your room being covered in your own blood. If you survive the ordeal, you're bound to a mental institute or prison due to your newfound insanity. In June of 2004, a very infamous and perplexing murder occurred that relates to the Red Room Curse. A 12-year-old girl, Satomi Mitarai, was murdered with a box cutter by her 11-year-old classmate, who's referred to as Girl A at an elementary school in Sasebo, Nagasaki. She was referred to as Girl A because of legal procedures preventing the identification of juvenile offenders. In custody, she confessed to the crime, apologized to the police over and over again, cried a lot, and refused to eat. It's a really sad tragedy. She claimed no motive for the killing, but later confessed to police that Mitarai made comments on her weight and called her a goody-goody, which she didn't like. And when the police raided her home, it said that they found the Red Room pop-up amongst the internet tabs, and the urban legend resurfaced from there. The girl who murdered Mitarai was later identified as Natsumi Tsuji, but it doesn't seem like that's her real name anymore, and her act sparked debate on the age of criminal responsibility in Japan. She also became an internet meme on the previously mentioned 2chan and was nicknamed Nevada Tan because a class photo showed a girl thought to have been her wearing a University of Nevada Reno sweatshirt. Tan refers to the childlike pronunciation of the Japanese honorific word chan, and it's used to refer to a young girl. After all of this, she was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. Now, I did say that the girl doesn't seem to go by Natsumi Tsuji anymore, and that's for a good reason. This tragedy made headlines, and everyone knew what this girl did. So, if someone caught wind of her history or her name, it would be over for her. She's also reported to have spent around 2 years in a psychiatric facility and was released in 2008 to rejoin society. For her to integrate back in, any trace of what she did would have to not lead back to her. So, her name would have to have been changed. It's commonly agreed that she and her family scattered because of the outrage of this event, and they probably live their lives as peacefully as they can. But what of the Red Room pop-up on her family computer? If it was there, and we assume it does exactly what it does, then Tsuji survived the ordeal it would have thrown her into, but it drove her to insanity and she snapped at her classmate, and that resulted in what we discussed. What most likely happened here is that the pop-up is some sort of adware or virus that may have infected computers at some point, and then there was some sort of urban legend attached to it and a murder investigation it could cling on to. But with how mysterious our world can be, who can really say for certain? And that brings Volume 1 to a close. We'll continue with Kuchisaki Onna, Slit-Mouthed Woman, after these small messages. This video is sponsored by me. Now, I know I've advertised my YouTube members and Patreon a lot, which if you haven't checked out, you definitely should if you want to monetarily support me further for exclusive rewards like being able to watch my videos early, having your name in the start and end credits, and more. But did you know that I also have a second channel called Soda Jump where I goof around with my friend Harry playing video games and doing some IRL content here and there? I know, it sounds awesome and it's definitely never been engaging visuals, keep it engaging, man. We get our usual jump scare intro, but things kick off differently.
Yes, MK2. One of my favorite weapons.
As we can hear and see, we now have an announcer and visuals to accompany it, which is a vast contrast to Volume 1. This video, which used to be titled Volume 5, only covers the slit-mouthed woman which I stated in the intro of the video. And because it covers one Japanese urban legend, I wanted to include it in this video. Also because I find the myth of the slit-mouthed woman very interesting. If you'd be interested in seeing me cover the other volumes, let me know, or let me know if you'd like to see me cover Japanese urban legends or other urban legends in the future too. Stylized Kitsune states in the description of the video that focusing on one urban legend or ritual per video would result in higher quality videos and scares within them. And after seeing the jump in quality, I agree with that. It really works to bring the urban legend to life and immerses the viewer in the lore of the story. And what is that story? Well. The slit-mouthed woman is an onyo, a malicious spirit that's best described as a woman with long black hair, pale skin, wears a surgical mask, carries a sharp weapon like a pair of scissors, and is generally considered to be beautiful. That is, until that perception is quickly shattered after the woman approaches you and begins to talk. If she does, she'll ask you if she is beautiful. Answering no will get you killed on the spot, or if you're lucky to get away, will get you killed later that night. But answering yes will get you a follow-up question. She'll take off her surgical mask, revealing slit scars around her mouth that go from ear to ear, also known as the Glasgow smile. Hence where her slit mouth name comes from, and asks something along the lines of, how about now? If you say no or scream, you'll be killed on the spot, or again, if you're lucky to get away, later that night. But if you say yes hesitantly, she'll disfigure you by cutting your mouth from ear to ear. An established way to survive an encounter with her is to answer in an ambiguous way. For example, saying that she looks average, or you could also try to confuse her with a follow-up question, distract her with something like candies which she'll pick up if you throw them around, tell her you're running late and she'll bow and apologize, or ignore her, but the latter could result in dire consequences. However, a power play against the slit-mouthed woman is strength in numbers, which the video points out as she would be less likely to approach a group versus an isolated person. The more you know, the safer you'll be.
900
Thanks,
damage.
Yokohama City Safety Council. The story of the slit-mouthed woman has been dated back to sometime between the 17th and 19th centuries during Japan's Edo period.
Had a nice
However, a
number they're adding
resurgence
as a
of the
credit,
urban legend
so-
cropped up in 1970s Japan due to newspaper outlets and magazines reporting on the rumors. This actually led to more children being accompanied by groups of adults while walking home from places like schools. But a big question is, how did she get her slit mouth? It's rumored that she was the wife or mistress of a samurai and she grew lonely because he was always away from home fighting. So she would sleep with men in the town for company, and when the samurai found out, he slit the corners of her mouth from ear to ear. Another explanation states that she was mutilated during a medical procedure or a woman who was jealous of her beauty. It's believed that she could use a handkerchief or a fan to cover her mouth as well, and her mouth might be filled with lots of sharp teeth. Even if you haven't heard of this urban legend, you've probably seen or heard of media stemming from it. My favorites are from Ghostwire Tokyo, where she appears as an enemy type in the game, and Mortal Kombat, where she inspired the character design of Melina. In Mortal Kombat's case, she's usually seen wearing a face mask or something to hide her mouth before revealing it to bite her opponent. MK9 and iterations before that were on some freaky shit, and MKX made the reveal of her sharp teeth much different before reverting back to the original more or less. And in Ghostwire Tokyo, she's a menacing unit that will lunge and attack you with her big pair of scissors. Keeping your distance from her is highly advised. So designs inspired by the slit-mouthed woman can be pretty cool.
2 minutes without trash.
We have more to the video. On July 15th, 1968,
one of those things doesn't
police were
even exactly
conducting a search for a missing girl named Aiko in Yokohama, Kanagawa Prefecture, Japan. The missing girl's mother, Keiko Sato, was taken to the Nishi Ward police station while her testimony was being recorded as evidence. This recording was classified for over 15 years until recently when it was released as a matter of public interest. Warning, this content contains material that some viewers may find disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised. This is where we get Keiko's account about her missing daughter, Aiko. She's describing it to an unnamed officer in what appears to be an interview or interrogation room at the police station. She recounts that Aiko said that she'd go to the park to play with her friends after school and that she'd be home before dark. She never arrived home. All of her friends had gone to their houses, and her best friend was the last person to see her as they parted ways to go to each other's respective homes. Naturally, Keiko went out to look for Aiko, and she went to the park and found a clip of her hair on the small playground.
Wait, how did you
And
find the
there
hair thing?
she stood, the slit-mouthed woman in a large white coat and surgical mask carrying Aiko's backpack. Her dark, empty eyes watching Keiko and asked her, "Am I beautiful?" Keiko didn't answer out of fear, and that's when the slit-mouthed woman pulled her mask down and revealed her slit scars and asked, "Even like this?" Keiko screamed and ran. If you remember the consequences for that, then you'll know that Keiko will meet her demise during this night.
Not there. Shot fire? What?
Keiko Sato and the officer were found lying in pools of their own blood. They had crude cuts made from the corner of their mouths up to their ears, leaving a smile-shaped wound. 3 bullet holes were found on the wall. Keiko and the officer tried their best to fend off the slit-mouthed woman, but little did they know that she's a malicious spirit, so no matter what they did, they wouldn't be able to stop her. Their fates were sealed, bringing that tape to a close. As we've seen, Japanese urban legends and rituals are perfect for analog horror. Stylized Kitsune seemed to have grasped a formula that works in Volume 1, where things were explained simply with simple visuals and audio which were quite immersive, and we learnt a whole lot about Hitori Kakurembo, Domino no Jikoku, and the Red Room Curse. These are urban legends and rituals you definitely don't want to come across or do. I also stated that volumes 2, 3, and 4 follow the same formula as volume 1 as they cover 3 Japanese urban legends and or rituals. That's where volume 5, now known as Kuchisake Onna, Slit-Mouthed Woman, changed things up. Stylized Kitsune opts to focus on just a slit-mouthed woman, explaining the urban legend through the means of a PSA and showing us an example of the threat in action through an officer's interview with the victim Aiko's mother, Keiko. There was even a cast involved with this video, so it seems that Styled Kitsune plans to take his series in this direction for the foreseeable future and might dabble into urban legends and rituals from other places around the world. If you'd like to see more of his videos or his analog horror resource pack he sells on Patreon, I'll have his Japanese urban legends and rituals series, channel, and Patreon linked in the description.
That's kind of cool. They had a full product now.
That brings us to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Comment your thoughts and opinions down below too.
Some of the
I really like reading
nice
your comments and suggestions.
Well, not quite nice. It's more like really cool and very creative. You have some like urban legend, so yeah. Anything else? Nothing much. I would prefer urban legend mainly because it's cool, but it kind of makes up stuff like that. I don't like real life shit. Wait, so worst hotel? But as it point, I kind of run out of stuff to watch. What the hell? There's nothing to watching. Yeah. Was there E, but I don't know. It's a bit where to watching stuff on it. The killer kitty little ox. Today I think I watch it. Oh yeah, power trade and lawsuit. Power lawsuit. I here's the thing. From my thinking,
January 2024.
Yep.
We haven't.
oh, I didn't watch it.
Because designs are too similar.
Yep.
It is cold.
I put like my finger, but also yeah, I heard that the power lawsuit is basically a patent lawsuit, which is kind of scary because it doesn't claim the copyright strike. They claim the patent. It's a patent lawsuit, basically like the game mechanics that will resemble to like all the games, so they just doing it because it calls a patent lawsuit, not copyright law. I'm more surprised like they doesn't lose the copyright because some of the power is just really resemble like actual Pokemon, actual Pokemon. Let's just say let's just doesn't be rather loose. Yeah, like there's some of them that look really resemble Pokemon. But I don't understand why they doing that though. They lose a lawsuit on the patent, not the copyrights, right? I don't know. Because if they lose a patent, they can just make sure they have the legally to make all the game never follow, never doesn't have the same concept. Basically, right now, if Nintendo win, you will never get it. You will never able to catching any type of like monster or beast with a circular ball. That is.
Blooded business. And that is a quote. It's not just the opinion of me, some Westerner who doesn't understand Japanese law trying to pump up the story for you. It's what Serkan Toto called it, cold-blooded business. Now, he runs a game consultancy firm in Japan. He is absolutely seen as a regional expert. He knows what he's talking about. And worse, for Palworld developer Pocket Pair, he thinks Nintendo will win. Now, I get it.
Nintendo, keep in mind, Nintendo has a 100% success rate of winning litigation that they have initiated.
I think I don't play creature collectors. This doesn't matter to me. Well, the bad news is it does. This is a direct threat to what we all enjoy. It is a threat against the entire industry. And if past predicts future, Nintendo will almost certainly win because their domestic litigation track record is legendary. I'm sure you know the phrase, if you come for the king, you better not miss.
There it is.
404 Media spoke to Dr. Toto, and it turns out, to his memory, Nintendo have never lost a litigation that they started. So
they never lost? Oh, yes. Oh, fuck. They're gonna be so scary.
Man. That's scary. That's really fucking scary.
Their lawyers are big brains with big wallets.
He
watches
you?
Up to beat them with today's sponsor. We're going to help you transform doom scrolling into actual lasting satisfaction. They're brilliant.org/Bellular News, who actually help me benefit from my tech rather than be hijacked by it.
I know.
They make learning interactive and fun, where you basically learn by doing across thousands of interactive lessons in maths and data analysis, programming and AI. And it's all in their site and app that is gorgeously designed where everything's interactive, which means you actually feel the concepts that you're learning. This method is proven to be 6 times more effective than lecture videos, which certainly does match my experience doing lectures where I don't really remember anything, but I do remember things that I've done. Now, I love Brilliant because understanding STEM topics is occasionally useful, but also life useful. Sharp problem solving and analytical skills are important in a world that is getting more full of data, more chaotic. As an example, take their data pathway. They just relaunched.
It's actually gonna get the melee one. People don't have any competency on reading a basic graph. Like, I didn't really realize this until I remember we did Schooled, and I was, like, seeing people look at graphs, and it was like, now I understand why the biggest problem in America is transgenders and not the national deficit or, like, inflation.
Now no one knows how to do math.
Because nobody knows what this graph means. Yeah.
Oh, the graph.
It's packed full of real-world data from Airbnb, Spotify, Starbucks, and other big businesses where you'll learn how to parse, visualize, and understand the data. Of course, your professional life, like say, deeply understanding probability, can help you stay grounded in the world. So, you can turn that doom scrolling into a daily learning habit at brilliant.org/Bellular News. There, you will get a 30-day free trial and 20% off an annual plan. I highly recommend them. Seriously, it is so much better than just scrolling around your phone, achieving nothing. We first caught whiffs of this months back whenever the Pokemon Company finally responded, and edited for brevity, this is what they said. We have received many inquiries regarding another company's game released in January 2024. We haven't granted permission to use our IP or assets and intend to investigate and take appropriate measures. So they said, looking into it.
Yeah, Pokemon basically said, Palworld, we see you.
We should collecting evidence.
A little bit chilling. And reading that, we're all thinking the same thing. Did Pocket Pair yoink something? Did they rip a model from Pokemon? Did they kit bash using models from Pokemon? Allegations to that effect were all over the internet.
Abso-fucking-lutely they did, without a shadow of a doubt. They copied this shit. It's nearly 1 for 1. And the thing is that they're not even getting sued for that. You would have to be absolutely out of your fucking mind to think that Anubis and Lucario are not the exact same thing. I'm
look
sorry.
similar, yeah.
Come on.
Unfortunately,
now, VGC actually spoke to 2 AAA 3D modelers whenever the Pokemon Company released their statement, and they basically said, you cannot in any way, and this is a quote, accidentally get the same proportions on multiple models from another game without ripping the models, or at the very least, tracing them meticulously first.
It was proven that this was not the case, but the point still stands. Because for a while, there was like an idea that somebody had a smoking gun that proved that Palworld stole the models. That proof was then disproven. So all you can do is look at the two of them. Anubis is an Egyptian god. Yeah, it's the god of death. I know that. Fucking obviously. It's the name that they change. It's the character model, not the name. Everybody fucking knows that.
One of those people said they would stand behind their words as an expert witness in court, but more relevant too today, VGC also ran it by an IP lawyer. The IP lawyer said, if proven, that would be a smoking gun. Today's statement from Nintendo and the Pokemon Company is not what we expected because it doesn't talk about copyright infringement for protected designs. Rather, it's about patent infringement. And remember, this is cold. This is business. This is about defeating your foe. So if the spirit of your complaint, say designs being too similar,
the copyright system
is
is one thing, but
legal
it's
argument, well then your extremely expensive lawyers will not make that argument, but they will, of course, try to achieve your goals. And remember, Nintendo's lawyers are
it's kind of like a good example of like a parallel to this is that Al Capone didn't go to jail for being in the mafia or for killing people. He went to jail for tax evasion. So I think Nintendo's trying to look and try to take that same, it's a bit of a metaphor, right? Take that same approach.
Of the best in the entire industry. And they've done easy things like knocking out these Pokemon clones from China, but more recently, we have a scary story. They won $30 million suing Colopil over patent infringement. And that's exactly what we're dealing with here. But what's spooky is the specific patents and how that litigation went down. And this is almost certainly, I believe, what they'll do to Pocket Pair because it seems like it's their playbook. They try to get them in patents. Here's a few of them. Quote, the special technology used to operate a joystick over a touch panel. Another one is a confirmation screen appearing whenever you resume a game from sleep mode.
What?
What the fuck?
Removes the game from sleep mode.
Toto summed up the others. He said this, quote, and they have 5 other ones, including one for isometric, pseudo, 3D games, where
the character is hidden behind a tree, the game forms a shadow, so you have kind of a sense of where the character is, even though you don't see the character clearly. Nintendo has a patent on that, and this game uses that technology.
What?
Oh my god.
What
Nintendo should patent gravity in games too, before somebody else does. It's a
what
good
the fuck
idea.
is that fucking pattern? Like, what?
Character is hidden behind a tree. The game forms a shadow, so you have.
Why don't they just patent trees? Yeah, I mean, like, let's cut out the middleman. Let's just patent a tree itself. You see, there's a tree in another game. Well, okay, well, fucking shut them down.
Sense for where your character is, even though you don't see your character clearly.
Terrence Howard level patents.
World of Warcraft just added that. So many games have that. Playing an isometric game, you walk behind a tall building, but you still see where your character is. Yet, that is something Nintendo actually used. They do hold those patents, but many would say those patents are so broad and industry standard that they're invalid. And that actually is a defense in Japan. It's one that, in this case, the defendant made. They said that Nintendo's patents lacked novelty and inventiveness and therefore are invalid, so broad that they're essentially meaningless. And this is where the story gets chilling. Nintendo didn't have to win. Colopil ended up having to settle. The settlement is, of course, a mutual agreement between both companies to come to terms and stop the legal...
Nintendo's going to try to bleed them out, basically. The issue, I think, with Palworld is that Palworld made so much money.
I don't think so.
And I think that if, like, because they are on Game Pass, etc., I think that Palworld is in a much stronger position to fight against this.
That's it.
The scummy fucks. Yeah, exactly. They can afford to fight them. Yeah.
And chances are,
And
I don't know
right,
where you get
no,
chances.
No
They
mistake,
can.
Nintendo
Or they
were
are,
not
sorry.
the losers here, and it's worse than that. The settlement involves Colopil having to pay Nintendo a licensing fee for those patents.
Insane.
Now, by the law of the land, Nintendo did not prove their patent claim, as far as my understanding goes.
yeah.
Yet, even though they didn't prove that legally, they successfully strong-armed their target into number one, giving up a lot of money,
One
and
of
number two,
secret right
into
to
a licensing
control.
deal for those patents that many would
Unbelievable.
argue are invalid
is
by the
that?
law of Japan.
Yeah.
Again, that argument did not get fully borne out.
See,
in
I actually am really glad Bellior talked about this. I didn't know this. So there actually isn't a necessary precedent for this specific thing happening.
Thank for your support.
That's good to hear.
It is said to be repurposed by.
Maybe they're expecting
Linus.
Pal World to do the
What?
same thing.
What does that do? I'm sorry, people.
court, we don't have a legal decision.
Actually milking
and that's
them?
The thing.
Yeah, they are.
The legal system is supposed to uphold the law, but
Mm-hmm.
here, this system was the weapon, and the law didn't exactly matter. Pal World, then. Nintendo's filings are not public. That means we do not know
Wait,
what
is it
patents
like
they're
fine
using.
thing?
People over at Pocket Pair also don't know. But here's a Nintendo example that Stephen Totillo found in the US Patent
Yeah.
Office, and there is crossover between the US and Japanese
Oh,
patent
you're
offices.
like
You
a
can see
wink,
this
yeah.
amazing art. Throwing an item to catch a
Wow.
monster. We see some WikiHow tier art of it. We see a flow chart. And look, if it was Pal World, the Pterosaur would absolutely be holding an AK, but I don't think that detail is
Ooh,
going
I
to
never
help
fought
Pocket
this
Pal.
guy.
So, let's talk about their response. Big Winston once said, never let a good crisis go to waste. And, well, Pocket Pair are leveraging their biggest asset here, their community. And, look, like it or not, whether you think a big rat creature...
By the way, this guy's pals are fucking garbage. This guy's character sucks. Like, this guy sucks at the game.
Just straight up
I
going
don't know
like
who's
that,
playing
man.
here, but they're garbage.
with an AK is an artistically cohesive thing or not. The truth
Another
is
weapon.
that Pal World happened in a world where most of my generation loved Pokemon as kids and then drifted away from the franchise over a continued lack of innovation and pretty damn scummy business practices that just about nobody
damn,
else
that's
is
a big
able to
ass
get
sword.
away with.
I think that the reason why I stopped playing Pal World, or sorry, why I stopped playing Pokemon is because they made too many Pokemon to keep up with. That's, I think, the main reason why I stopped. It was just too fucking many. Yeah, same formula for 20 years. I mean, it's just that there's too much to the game, and I felt like every game wasn't really that interesting. Like, Pal World was interesting because it brought in, like, new, unique dynamics. Yeah, there's no innovation. Exactly. Yeah, and I think that Pal World probably will run into this problem in 5 or 10 years too. I think that games like this, it's like what I said kind of like with gacha games, where I think gacha games like just natively have their own lifespan. Like you can only bring in your first Dami Mommy character to a gacha game once, and then every other character is like, you know, Kafka, right, was like huge, and then for like Honkai Star Rail, but like Jade, which is kind of the same thing, at least like in terms of vibe, is not as big as Kafka, right? And so that's really kind of the difference, right? Or like the first character that's like red or whatever.
I mean, actually quite nice. Look at it. That did a lot of
In
damage.
that
Just repeats
context,
itself?
Pal World
Yeah, it is.
captured attention, and it used extremely sticky and battle-tested game
Yeah.
mechanics, base building, collecting, automation to hold on to people. That does mean the community actually likes them by and large. And so in this situation, they absolutely are David, and the rocks in their sling are the community. Let's talk about their statement. They start by reinforcing that they're small, how Pal World succeeded with the community, and they end with the real message. Quote, "It is truly unfortunate that we will be forced to allocate significant time to matters unrelated to game development due to this lawsuit. However, we will do our utmost for our fans and to ensure that indie developers are not hindered or discouraged from pursuing their creative ideas."
That's one of the big components here, is that if Nintendo is like upheld basically in being able to do this, it's
Nobody
basically
can do it,
telling
yeah.
every big company that the way that you want to make money is basically buying up all of the like conceptual real estate of video games, turning it into patents, and then making it to where you pull up the ladder from any other individual developer from being able to make a product that can compete with your product. That's effectively what happens. And it's bad for the end user.
And that's really the thing. This is just the beginning. This is a battle that will take years because it's legal and that's how it goes. Palworld, though, is not just a small indie company. That's where Sony actually entered the picture. So a few months back, Pocket Pair announced a joint venture with Sony Music Entertainment and an anime company called Aniplex. Basically, right, they want to do what rocketed Pokemon and got, you know, the Chin Pokemon episode of South Park. They want to exploit the Palworld IP outside of video games through anime, through music, probably a card game, and everything you could imagine. And that's what makes
I think if they did Palworld with like the same type of like grotesque nature of like Chainsaw Man, I think it could be really good. But I think Palworld is like a vibe that's like really hard to nail. That would go so hard. Yeah, it would, right? Explain that deeper. I think that what I mean is that Palworld has like a... What makes Palworld very good is the juxtaposition of the inhumanity with the cutesiness. So you have like these little cute animals, but you also are cutting them in half and eating them, but they're happy while they're doing it. And so it's like you have to have both of these vibes at the same time and not have it turn into some like, you know, scene girl middle school vibe. It has to actually be good. I'm trying to think of like another show that I think kind of does a good job at that. Happy Tree Friends? Yeah. Like, what was the show? It was on, I think it was Cartoon Network. It was like Chicken and something. And it was like a really weird show. Dog and Chicken or something like that.
What the hell is that?
Cow and Chicken. Yeah, Cow and Chicken would be a good example. You know, actually would be a really good example would be Courage the Cowardly Dog, right? But like, it would have to be even farther than that. Because like, you need a level of like grotesqueness that I don't think that even those shows had, because obviously they were like kids shows.
Me wonder here. Do Nintendo see this as a threat? It may not be a threat now, because I think Palworld is appealing to different people than just the core Pokemon experience, as it is currently. But if you look at the likes of Arceus, you do actually see that, yeah, while Arceus was rightly
What
laughed...
a piece of shit. Look at this.
Nope, I cannot mind.
That for its visual presentation, it actually did innovate the gameplay, and it was way better than any of the other modern Pokemon games for sure. So they're maybe thinking, well, we want to innovate and push Pokemon forward. Maybe Palworld is going to muscle in that turf. And they've also realized something. Palworld was scrappy. It was an indie. When you hear about the development, it does seem like a little bit of a technical shit show. But that's the thing. It will only get better and stronger from here, and now it has got proper corporate backing with those joint venture agreements. So for Nintendo, if they see a rival brand to Pokemon, would they not rather kill it where it is now when it's small? And
well, of course that's what they're gonna do. And also, it's now that Palworld has been successful, Nintendo stands to gain money from a settlement. Because if they shut down a really small studio, they're not going to make any money from that shutdown. But because Palworld now is holding a bag, they can get that bag.
They're sending a message, yeah.
I want to be clear. Every game developer should be against this. And I know that within the industry, many think that Pocket Pair are, in a way, creative hacks who couldn't even bother making their own in-universe version of a gun. They just grabbed an AK or an AR from an asset store and slapped it onto a pocket monster. But that doesn't actually matter now. That doesn't matter. What matters is this endangers us all, and it's something that's happened before. It is common understanding the game mechanics cannot be copyrighted. Exact implementation can be, but not in broad strokes. You can't go and patent the Metroidvania format. I mean, we used to call...
But they would try to. That's the problem. Is that this is the issue, is that that's what you're really fighting against. You're fighting against people that are going to effectively try to gather up. It's kind of like, here's a really good example, right? Is like in America, I don't know if like... Obviously, a lot of people watch that aren't just in the U.S. But in the U.S. here, we have like a really big problem with housing because like you have a lot of these like really big companies that are buying up housing in mass and then raising the prices on all of the houses. And so what's ending up happening is that now you have people that can't afford to buy a new home because almost all of the homes are being purchased by these like large real estate companies or even large investment companies that just look at real estate as a vehicle of investment. So what's going to end up happening is that games are going to go the same direction. Is you're going to see game companies that are trying to, now it's no longer about how to create a good experience. It's about how to not overstep on some sort of like other grounds that some company already owns. It's very bad. That's not happening to the degree you think. It's not true. It's much more limited than the media said. I think that you're probably right to an extent, but it's definitely an agitating factor, and it makes things harder to do for an average person. So yeah. I mean, like, it is happening. Now, the extent of it happening, it's a big problem. Like, I don't want to argue about how big of a problem it is or it isn't. All I want to say is that it could be a problem, and it's like a parallel. That's all.
It's now the FPS, a Doom clone. And yeah, if you're newer, you may not know that, but in the 90s, it wasn't necessarily FPS, it was Doom clones. But the idea of a first-person shooter is not something that id could go and copyright. But specific mechanics, well, those can be patented. And that's because copyright protects the usage of the things that you've designed or wrote, and patents are designed to protect mechanical inventions or
functionalities.
Processes. The whole point there being that if you actually make an innovation, the patent system protects your ability to exploit that, and in doing so, it creates a financial incentive for people to
be
innovate.
Innovative. Yeah.
The thing is, though, if a patent is too broad, it can become impossible to reproduce.
And this is the problem, right? Is like you need to have patents to an extent, but the issue is that people clearly try to exploit the system by making a patent broad enough to where they can effectively stop other people from competing with them. And that's the issue. Yeah, he brings up Nemesis. Well, Nemesis is an example, but this happens inside of all industries. Like, patent trolling didn't get invented with video games. Like, it's not like, oh, video games invented patent trolling. No, it's been like this for a long time.
Without infringement. And that's where broad patents are a problem. And this hurts you. I would actually say it has hurt you. You just don't know it because we cannot see.
Very great argument. Extremely great argument is that there are a lot of patents and types of funding and innovation that we don't get to take advantage of because companies hold the patents on them and they're being used as a way to suppress innovation. Yep. Very good point.
The road not taken. The Lord of the Rings, Shadow of Mordor's Nemesis system was a true innovation, honestly.
Yeah.
It led to emergent gameplay within that game that actually saw people forgetting about the core progression and just having fun in the sandbox settling
Shadow of Mordor has the best
Nemesis system. Fun, it was dynamic, and it was a relationship with our enemies in the game that was actually player-driven. But Warner Bros. Patented it. And thus far, nobody has got past that patent. And that means that one of the 2010's greatest innovations in gaming is locked within one of the worst publishers. So if you're a AAA game or a AA, you probably don't want the risk. What if you're an
Shadow of Mordor is like one of my favorite games. I play it and I really like how fucking good the game is. You go around, you kill orc, right? You kill orc leader. You can mind control that orc leader, and you can just straight up make that orc, right? Basically, like spam to the right. And if you in a new game, Shadow of War, you can mind control the orc. You can make an orc following you, and the orc actually like save you. And all that shit is so fucking nice. And here's the thing, some of the orc you killed came back and chased you and basically fight you. It's like the entire system is so good and cool. But like you don't see any game has this pattern system anymore because one of both trademark fails. So.
Indie though? Well, will a publisher pick you up and fund you, knowing that an American megacorp could just attack you? And even if you're a self-funded indie, well, what are the chances that you drop your trailer after working in secret for 2 years, your trailer catches on, and just before release, you get served with something by Warner Bros. And even worse, this chilling effect means that we're not seeing...
And you've got to keep in mind that even if you think that you can win the lawsuit, there are many cases where when you win, you still lose.
You lose a lot of money.
Where the amount of money and time and just like mental, like just energy that you're spending on this, just everything, right? Like, let's assume you've got all the money in the world. You've got all the money in the world. Think about just like the mental stress that something like that creates. Free market is gone. Well, that's the problem, is that patents are made so people can benefit from innovation, but they're also made so people can benefit from preventing other people's innovation. And like, I feel like you have to have them, but there are clearly some of these examples that are too overreaching and too overarching.
Next version of the Nemesis system, the next iteration or innovation along those lines. That's the thing. Nintendo is a bad actor here. They are,
yes.
In my opinion anyway, using overly generic patents not as a true attack vector, but rather as a mind-controlling parasite.
Device.
Because this doesn't seem to be about winning the legal case.
Of course not.
It seems more an excuse
Sending a
to
message.
pick up the legal system and to harness it to maul your opponent to death, regardless of what a trial verdict may be. Because as we just saw, they can pull you into a settlement that is amazingly favorable to them. Now, there is a story this week about development about who I think you could call villains in the industry. It's about Unity. The whole Unity drama finally came to a close, and if you want to learn more, learn how.
Yeah, they've had to walk back another one of their fees. No, Unity's had to. Because like, remember what I said before, that I thought that it would affect Unity in the long term? It has.
And see what happened. Click here next.
Yep. They completely walked it back. They did, but that's not enough. The problem is that with business-to-business relationships, you need a degree of trust that's several measures higher than the degree of trust that you have with the customer directly. And that's a big difference that a lot of people don't understand, is that when you do business-to-business transactions, you are operating under a completely different set of rules than if you're selling to a direct consumer. And this is a good and a bad thing for different reasons. Companies already took their decisions. Too late, Unity? Exactly, right? It's like, basically, if you're a company, and think about it like this, right? If you're a company, do you want to build a castle on sand?
Nope.
If you've already had one instance of Unity being shown to be manipulative or to take advantage of you, do you want to risk that happening 3 years down the road when you have your game that's out and now you're making money on it? No, of course not, right? Exactly. And so that's why it's bad. It's bad because people have to make a decision. They have to make 5-year plans. And if you're showing instability now, that 5-year plan can't involve you. Whereas if you're a consumer and the company is like, oh, this company made a bad game, you're out $60, maybe $70. Who cares? Like, compared to like a company having like a fee that's 10% of their revenue.
Yep.
It's insane. Do you think intellectual property laws and consumer laws will ever be changed to favor new businesses and creators? Do you think the market is doomed to ever be strong-armed by big companies like Nintendo? I do think that it's forever doomed. I don't think that it has to be, but I think that it does have to be. I'll explain what I mean. The problem is that the average person is too stupid to understand what this problem is conceptually. Because people are so miseducated and undereducated and just simply not educated that they're unable to process and understand abstract thinking just as a wholesale like problem. And because of that, it's very hard for you to communicate this problem to a person because people can only see, well, if you look at Anubis and then you see Lucario, well, it looks like the same to me. Well, I bet Nintendo's right. Look at them. Look at them. And that's the way they work, including the judges. The problem is that the judges make decisions on existing laws. And you need to have the people that are voting to change those laws to hold different companies accountable So they can't use this legislatively to control people and stop innovation.
Yep, 100%.
Can you communicate this idea to the masses effectively?
Maybe.
I think the answer is no. I think that the average person, because everybody can vote, the answer is no, you cannot communicate this idea. The people are, you know it, I know it, and everybody knows it. But governments usually favor companies. But the reason why they favor companies, what I'm saying is that, like, this whole issue, it all exists inside of the context of having a voter base that is stupid, uninformed, and confident about their misinformation. That's the reason why it's a problem. Yeah, I do a good job explaining it. Yeah, but the problem is that other people can do... I think that you really... A lot of people really...
That's shock.
They downplay the strength of emotional messaging. And emotional messaging, like I've said this before, the best argument is not an argument. And I think that that's basically what I'm trying to say with this. It doesn't matter how good your argument is.
Basically, if Nintendo wins it, thing like no game will have anything similar to Pokemon anymore. Like no game that had like resemble like a small silver resemble like anything that's resemble to Pokemon. Any mechanic that resemble to Pokemon, that just pretty much went out the window. Which is kind of scary because it's so broad, you know. Do you think riding your Pokemon is the same as riding like other Mao, you know? Can you even ride Dragon anymore if that Dragon looks too much similar to Charizard? Can you even like fishing anymore if your fish look like Magikarp? You can't even, because of this thing, I believe that you will never able to catching another monster with a small ball. Yep, because that would be that you would be sued by Pokemon. 100%. I'll believe it. 100% Always, I will say it just Nintendo wasn't it good. Unfortunately, that is it way worse. It way worse. Now, well, good luck getting any mechanic resemble like slightly resemble to Pokemon. But let me be honest here. Like, if you play Power, you see a lot of Pows there look really similar to Pokemon. You cannot deny that fact, okay? You cannot deny it. They're definitely using Pokemon. That is no more. Ugh.
The internet, but trust me, you don't know anything about Balkan people internet. One of the funniest and most interesting corners of the web is Balkan people internet. That in internet years spans Balkan history, which is so in depth that you probably couldn't cover it all in one video. But what you should know is that it consists of some of the greatest empires in history: communism and fascism, religious wars, ethnic wars, world wars, and most.
Yeah, see, these are the kinds of people that like all those like those Eastern European countries like Serbian, right? It's like I remember one time I said that the people over there are so poor they can't afford.
Few more days until his grip was equal. If you have to resort
so mad.
You grind 9 to acquire.
They got so mad.
And
they're the ones that'll always try to do like this dark humor, like make bad jokes about shit. If you ever want to make somebody like this mad, just ask them about the local politics.
Could I try to fight him?
Like they can make themselves more mad than you can ever make them.
Recently, internet
What,
wars.
you think Trump is bad? Like...
If you didn't know, it's this region in Europe, made up of the following nations, and these nations don't particularly like each other. Here's a safe rule when wondering which nation is friends with which in the Balkans. If the two countries share a border, they don't like each other. If they don't share a border, there's a 70% chance they don't like each other.
There's probably
One
a reason for that.
One of the defining characteristics of the typical Balkan YouTube commenter is nationalism. But I don't want you to interpret this as a nationalist in the West.
Yeah.
Here in America, we don't tolerate that kind of crap, sir.
In the Balkans, nationalism is the norm. Due to the many hardships endured by these people, oftentimes inflicted by neighboring countries. When I say hardships, I'm not talking a trade agreement fell through. I'm talking wars, annexation.
Yeah, like they don't have electricity, and like the person who's in charge takes all the money, and then you go to the grocery store and there's no food there. Like, no, I mean, like, this isn't a hardship as in, like, Wendy's raised the price of, like, the double stack by 35 cents.
And Gene Osides.
Yeah, no, it's bad over there.
Get what I mean? To show you what I mean, here are some examples.
Yeah.
Gay, Greece, home of sexual
What are the question marks for? Amazing knowledge? No, I mean, like, it's really bad over there. Yeah. No, like, for sure. Like, what are y'all question marking for? It's not that bad. Some places it is. I've seen it.
Like everlasting. The like your story and mean to combat the threat.
Bulgarians, rulers of the world. Bulgarians were invincible warriors. Bulgarians, creators of almost all civilizations.
Now, you might see these as bad or hilarious, depending on who you are. But remember, nationalism is the norm for people who grew up here. So they took to the internet to share their disdain for each other, posting some of the most ridiculous.
What does it say?
So they took to the internet to share their.
If you are a normal person on Balkan, you don't need to wear a seatbelt because we are dying like men. Wow. All right.
Disdain for each other, posting some of the most ridiculous and unintentionally hilarious comments of all time without a shred of irony. But if you know anything about internet irony, you know things tend to go in a circle. These comments were so ridiculous that people started creating archives of them in places like r/Balkan People Internet, which would go on to be banned for promoting nationalism, which is the opposite of what it was supposed to do. It was making fun of the nationalism. But this will be a theme going forward, trust me. The irony would be pushed so far that people would start parodying their own cultures, not just other cultures, which ended up creating one of the greatest and most influential subreddits of all time.
What's this?
Not just for Reddit, but for internet.
I've never even heard of this
culture. They created r/2Balkan for you. This community took Balkan People Internet and cranked up the irony to 1 million. The whole point of this community was Balkan people coming together to make fun of each other by parodying.
Man, that's great. Wow.
Fun of each other by parodying their own nationalism, which in turn spawned some of the most iconic internet memes of this generation. The most blank in blank meme was widely popularized due to its use on 2Balkan for you. It also included parodying the stereotypes that were used by many Balkan internet posters. Now, you as an outsider might look at this and say, hey, these people are making fun of each other based on things that I'm not comfortable with, therefore it's not okay. But I present a counter argument. Balkan culture.
Here's the counter argument. Shut the fuck up, you bitch. Stop telling other people what to talk about and go live your own life. If at any point in the world you're concerned about two other groups of people that are having a disagreement on the internet in a context that you are disapproving of,
like, oh my god, I don't have
You need to get off. You need to reevaluate your life. Just right there. Just stop. Just stop. Like you've crossed over. Just stop it. You will lose her. They just need to stop. Yeah, exactly. It's in a joking way. Yeah, people just joking around. They're just trying to have fun. But this is the problem with people on like places like Reddit. Is like a lot of them are like I wouldn't really say autistic. I hate to use autistic because I feel like most people that are autistic think this shit probably is just as funny as we do. Neurodivergent in one way or another, or socially not leveled up. And so they see a group of guys joking around about something that makes them uncomfortable, and they put themselves in that position, and they feel uncomfortable, so then they project that onto everybody else.
Culture is nothing like your culture. First of all, it's normal in Balkan culture to make fun of people and to not take that personally. Second of all, remember all of these countries raise people to be extremely proud of their heritage and their roots because historically there is a very good chance they've been wronged by their neighbors at some point in the past
or their own
due
government.
to the sheer volume of history in the Balkans. As a result of this, a lot of people would just avoid talking to anyone from a neighboring country due to the stereotypes they were raised on. Two Balkan for you
babies for what does this say? Babies very first prejudice hatred.
Balkan for you flip this narrative completely on its head by uniting people from the Balkans with one thing they all had in common: nationalism. This video was made possible by Raycon. Look, you already know what Raycon is, so let me skip the formalities. Raycon's everyday earbuds have optimized gel tips for the perfect in-ear fit, meaning not only are they comfortable, but they won't fall out. Trust me, I've tried. They also have over 8 hours of playtime and 32 hours of battery life, which is insanely convenient. Nothing worse than having your headphones dying. The sound quality is also great as it comes with passive noise isolation and stereo sound enhancement. No more mom walking in on you gaming. They're also sweat and water resistant, built to withstand that accidental, oops, I left them in my pocket and now I put them in the wash. So if you want to take advantage of this deal and get 15% off your Raycon order, click the link in the description box below or go to buyraycon.com/ghostgun. Get 15% off your Raycon purchase. Thank you, Raycon, for sponsoring this video. Let's get back into it. It's this nationalism for their countries that they were able to bond over. Many users of Two Balkan for You argue that they would have never had perspectives on their neighbors and their upbringings had it not be for the subreddit, when in reality, they have a lot more in common than they originally thought. I guess you could say it was ironic, realizing they hated each other was the reason they came together, but either way, they came together. One of the heads
well, you could tell this, like, there are tons of people that, like, this is the story of Xbox Live. It is like, yeah, of course you start off by calling each other racial slurs, and then after that you become friends. Yeah, that's the way it is. It's a PvP server? Yeah.
The Two Balkan for You has explicitly stated that if it weren't for the subreddit, he, as a Greek person, would have never met his Macedonian or Turkish friends. He claims that if the subreddit never existed, tons of Balkan people would still hold the same perspective of their neighbors. They were also able to turn up the irony and laugh at people who took their nationalism seriously. So in a bizarre, roundabout, layered way, they cooled the tensions in historically one of the most tense regions on the entire planet. It's like cranking up the AC and the heat at the same time to achieve an average temperature, and it worked. Now you see, this perspective is a bit nuanced.
No, I think the reason why it works is because people, that's not the reason why it worked, in my opinion. I think the reason why it worked is it allowed people a place with no consequences to communicate with each other honestly. I think that, and this is probably true with most places, if you put a random Korean guy, a Brazilian guy, a Russian guy, and a guy from America in a room together, and somehow they all spoke the same language, and there was no consequences to a disagreement or saying the wrong thing, they would be able to get along, it would be fine. And you have to remember that if you look at a lot of the old movies, especially older war movies, this is a fundamental of almost all of these older war movies, where it's like a guy from, you know, Mississippi is with this other black guy from like Washington, and there's this dude from like New York, and then there's like some guy from Puerto Rico, and they all get along and they end up accomplishing something together and they're friends for life, right? Like, and you see how many military movies are like this. And so that's the real reason why it worked. And I think that's what's so great about the internet. I'm glad to see this video because, like, this is one of the things that it's weird because it's always the people that think they're doing a good thing that end up being the worst. And so they see people that are communicating in an honest way, And these people are so used to being coddled by lies that they view honesty as evil. So military is, yeah. Actual escape information. So, there's a lot of things. Yeah, Band of Brothers, like all of this stuff. Many shows are built around this. In World War I, soldiers from opposing sides celebrated Christmas together. Yeah, I remember seeing and reading about that. Yeah, but I think in general, that kind of stuff doesn't happen when you have some administrative group of people that think that they're doing a good thing by controlling the ways that people are able to communicate with each other. And I think the funny thing about it is that the Reddit joke police that got mad about this are effectively doing the exact same thing that I bet a lot of these Balkan people hate their fucking government for doing. They're probably being censored. They're being told what they can and can't say. They're being segmented across from each other. And they're being told that you can't interact or be around other people. This is, and I think this is one of the things that there's a group of people on the internet that stand to gain for a degree of like discord and discontentment and separation of people. Because, yeah, I think that there's a lot of guys, and like you see this, like people love Pilov, for example. Pilov, I think, was from the Balkans. I'm like 90% sure he was. People thought he was great. He was funny. And so, like, instead of, but like everybody's always complaining about him, like making bad jokes or like saying bad things, right? We're always mad about this. But at the end of the day, that's the way that you bond with somebody. But weirdos that, you know, again, had no friends, don't know how to make friends, and they live their entire life on the internet, and the only thing that they like to do is talk about the reasons why they won't interact with other people. These are the people that want to define the rules of engagement of society.
Everything like a chum earlier.
It's a huge problem. It really is. And you can see it right here.
Hard to understand if you don't have a background in the Balkans. Although you could just talk to a Balkan person about that to get the perspective, but hey, it might take a second to realize that even if I don't like this, these people are okay with making fun of each other and being made fun of. Reddit admins do not think like this. You see, there's one type of person that no matter what, people in 2 Balkan for you unironically hated. People from the West.
And of course they do. Absolutely they do. Now, I think reason number 1 is probably history. I think that probably plays a pretty big factor.
Solar set.
But then also, I think that a lot of people don't like, and I think this is true with a lot of Eastern and like Asian cultures. I know that especially for Chinese culture, it feels like they think this way, is that people don't want to be talked down to by people
Should I hit
from other
damage
cultures.
reduction or go for
Period.
full defense?
They don't want to be judged. They don't want to be told what they can and can't say. They don't want to have the rules for what they can and can't think defined by them to them by somebody who like is not even part of their culture. So I actually think it's a very fundamental reason. It's not actually something that's unique to Balkans or, you know, Chinese people or anything. I think it's in general.
Nobody embodies the stereotypical, terminally online, babied Western person than the average Redditor. A couple of people came after 2 Balkan for you, most notably the users of AHS, but it was nothing more than people just complaining.
What's AHS? What is this, like, against hate subreddits. I get it. Why don't they make a stand against the subreddits that celebrate fat animals because they
what the fuck?
Structure around
This battle shall be our last.
Like I don't know. I feel like
sorry, but would you fight in my house? God damn it. Can we fight on different spot like cat? Sorry, I actually pressed the button and summoned him in front of like my wall. Can I move him? Okay, never mind. Okay. might as well finish it.
This battle shall be our last.
God damn.
Be gone! Born of shadow! Darkness must be destroyed. My soul knows no surrender. Gleaming steel, light my path! Darkness must be destroyed. My soul knows no surrender. Be gone, born of shadow! My soul knows no surrender. Darkness must be destroyed. Be gone, born of shadow!
Either find a bot from the mod, so yeah.
Darkness must be destroyed. My soul knows no surrender. Gleaming steel, light my path!
What?
Our world,
I
will strike you down. To me, warriors of light! Darkness must be destroyed. Be gone, born of shadow!
Oh my god,
My soul knows no surrender. Effulgent ether, smite my foes! Gleaming steel, light my path!
How did you do bots?
To me, warriors of light! Be gone, born of shadow! Darkness must be destroyed! To me, warriors of light! Be gone, born of shadow! Darkness must be destroyed! Be gone, born of shadow! To me, warriors of light! Darkness must be destroyed! Be gone, born of shadow!
What the?
My soul knows no surrender. Effulgent ether, smite my foes! Gleaming steel, light my path! To me, warriors of light! Be gone, born of shadow! Darkness must be destroyed! To me, warriors of light! Be gone, born of shadow! Darkness must be destroyed! Be gone, born of shadow! To me, warriors of light! Darkness must be destroyed! Be gone, Lord of Shadow!
Why do you feel so cheating?
My soul
Just go full
knows
defend
no
and tank, and I don't even take damage.
Refulgent ether, smite my foes!
Oh, never mind.
Gleaming steel, light my path!
What? That would close. Oh, I think my buff ran out this way. Let's try again.
This battle shall be our last. Begone, Lord of Shadow! Darkness must be destroyed. My soul knows no surrender. Gleaming steel, light my path! Darkness must be destroyed. My soul knows no surrender. Begone, Lord of Shadow! My soul knows no surrender. Darkness must be destroyed. For my people, for our world, I will strike you down. To me, warriors of light! Darkness must be destroyed. Begone, Lord of Shadow! My soul knows no surrender. Refulgent ether, smite my foes! Gleaming steel, light my path! To me, warriors of light! Begone, Lord of Shadow! Darkness must be destroyed! To me, warriors of light! Begone, Lord of Shadow! Darkness must be destroyed! Begone, Lord of Shadow! To me, warriors of light! Darkness must be destroyed! Begone, Lord of Shadow! My soul knows no surrender! Refulgent ether, smite my foes! Gleaming steel, light my path! To me, warriors of light! Begone, Lord of Shadow! Darkness must be destroyed! To me, warriors of light! Begone, Lord of Shadow! Darkness must be destroyed! Begone! Born of shadow! To me, warriors of light! Darkness must be destroyed! Begone! Born of shadow! My soul knows no surrender. You still stand? Very well. Now to take your measure!
Oh shit, phase 2. Oh, god damn it.
Will light embrace or darkness consume? Power from beyond for victory!
What the fuck is going on? What? I cannot move.
These magics are not for you to read. Power from beyond! Every dream must come to an end! To take your measure! These magics are not for you to read. Now to take your measure. Power from beyond! Now to take your measure. These magics are not for you to read. For victory!
Oh no, it's freezing me again. This is cheating.
Now to take your measure. Will light embrace or darkness consume? Power from beyond for victory!
Oh, stop freezing me.
Now to take your measure.
Stop cheating.
These magics are not for you to read. Power from beyond! Every dream must come to an end! To take your measure. These magics are not for you to read. Now to take your measure. Power from beyond! are not for you to be. For victory! Now to take your measure.
Stop cheating.
Will light embrace or darkness consume? I cannot fail. I will not.
Hey. 10 minutes more fight. Dude, if I didn't have the alchemist buff, I'm probably losing because the potion lasts for like 20 minutes. I don't think any potion lasts more than 20 minutes. Totem of life. Oh, I can craft the soul. Was it one magic then? Let's try them. The warrior of light had been defeated. What? There are even more boss after this? What? Yeah, hidden boss. Oh, the first stop. Oh, there's still one more boss. Oh no. Oh, this is the end. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Grab all the memory trace with the boss. Oh, I've been watching something.
Like that'd be good. I mean, why not just take an easy W there? Reddit Incorporated confirms to media that groomer defamation aimed at LGBT people violates site-wide Rule 1.
I don't.
So
No,
LGBT people can't groom people? Of course they can. Everybody can. Of course all LGBT aren't groomers.
Huh?
And this is the problem, right?
Wait, my
is
game
that these
froze?
are people
Okay, never
that
mind.
I think have both... No. There's three things. Undiagnosed mental illnesses, self-diagnosed mental illnesses, and actual diagnosed mental illnesses. And that dark triad creates a Reddit moderator. And you see these people that have absolutely zero social skills, and that's why they've been sequestered to some random internet subreddit that acts like it's some kind of fucking it's some kind of hall monitor, some like safety crossing guard with like some website because they're worried about this. These are the biggest fucking losers that you can ever imagine. Literally the biggest fucking losers.
Essence of silence.
Like, do you remember when they interviewed
Dude,
that person from Anti-Work and they were a 30-year-old balding dog walker that could barely explain themselves and talked like a fucking idiot? You have to keep in mind that's the person that they decided to put up there. So what do you think that says about the rest of them?
But it was nothing more than people just complaining, failing to understand the point of the subreddit, which wasn't to be mean or hurtful, but make fun of that. It was just a small group of Redditors, though, so who...
Yeah, this is a... these are the people that...
Umbra.
These people are the ones that are stopping racism in a country that they can't find on the map.
Really cares. Two Balkan did take some steps in changing the subreddit to be more advertiser-friendly in order to not get it banned, such as changing some user flares and making sure no unironic stuff got through. But this wouldn't stop them from the attack that was about to come. Not from the Reddit mods, but the Reddit admins, in particular, one notoriously awful admin. Now, as previously discussed in another video, admins and mods are very different people. To understand this simply, admins are paid employees of Reddit, whereas mods are basically slaves. Mods are the ones who get individuals banned, admins are the ones who get entire subs banned. Now in doing research for this video, I got in touch with the head admin of 2Balkan4U, who had direct interactions with the certain Reddit admin. The messages between them perfectly paint the picture of
He
why
means a certain mod for 2Balkan4U that had interactions with a Reddit mod, or a Reddit admin. Sorry, I mean, just so you guys understand the vocabulary here.
Balkan4U was banned. So this admin, Cheetor, I think that's how you pronounce it, is the one we're going to be talking about. You might know her because she got caught abusing her powers on r/place to erase stuff she didn't like, essentially defeating the whole purpose of place. Cheetor.
You erase stuff with stuff she doesn't like. Yep. That explain it. I'm probably trying to craft Zenith next. Yeah. Because the fight above is like quite strong.
It is poetic, isn't it? Cheetor was cheating. You know, like that. It's. You know, like, wow, pure fucking cinema. How does this happen?
So
I don't even know what to say. It's just so ridiculous.
Had taken some issue with 2Balkan4U, citing that the user flares were in direct violation of Reddit Rule 1. Here are the user flares on screen that they used to make fun of each other.
Albanian, gay Greek, gay Reek, gay, Bosniak, fake people, Slovenian femboy, Serbia, landlocked genocide, Croatian Nazi, Turk roach, Ottoman disabled son, Bulgar Mongol horde, Macedonian, I don't know if I could even say that one, Romanian gypsy. Oh my god, yeah, this humor is way too Eastern European for Westerners. Yeah, I can see why. I'm sure there's a lot of overweight people that are at Starbucks that are very upset about this. Yeah. They're sitting comfortably on their fucking MacBook Pro that are reading this about, I can't
like already don't even good anymore. Like back then, early 2000, you can see early 2010. Well, there's so many good stuff on there, and now it's just so sanitized. You don't even flares removed,
as Cheetor had just removed them without giving them any warning or any heads up. They explained the point of these user flares was to make fun of people who were using them seriously in the real world. They also argued that they're criticizing themselves, not others. Therefore, it's okay because everyone here is in on it. Either way, the mods said they'd be willing to change the flares if they got them back, giving Cheetor what they wanted if they would just leave 2Balkan4U alone. Now, if you look at the messages, it's clear Cheetor didn't even look at the response and just doubled down, saying that their word was final, and they wouldn't be getting their flares back no matter what, because I don't know, man. But Cheetor, being the hero she was, wouldn't stop there. They mentioned 2Balkan4U was promoting hate and gave...
It's a joke, or irony is not an excuse to allow hateful content. Yeah, it is. And I'm sick of pretending like it's not. That's the whole reason. Do we not grow up watching the Chappelle Show? It's a joke. We're just goofing around. It's so annoying. These people are so obnoxious. Jesus.
He was promoting hate and gave examples. The mods claim that these posts weren't even promoting hate, and they also said they were trying to keep the subreddit as clean as possible, but felt they were being unfairly treated and given too short of a leash. They also pointed out that nobody on the sub was getting offended, who, keep in mind, were the butt end of the...
nobody actually cares about this. The only people that care about it are people that aren't involved. This is always how it is.
Ready mod on Power Trip.
These jokes, but it was a Western person coming into another culture telling them what was okay.
This never happens, you know? Like, wait, Yeah, we never have done this before. What do you mean? So you write a hateful manifesto and label it as a joke, so you bypass it? I think so. This is the problem, Maddie. It's that like, how many of you guys have been around a person who's actually racist? Me. It's very uncomfortable and kind of weird, right? Yeah. It's uncomfortable, it is. So the fact that you can't identify between what's a joke and what's not a joke, that doesn't mean that everybody else in the world has to dial down the level of conversation because you don't have the level of social competency to understand what everybody else understands. This is the problem. Is that, and this is also another issue, you know, we talked a lot about cinema, right? And about how, like, movies have been dumbed down. Well, the reason why is because every single time that somebody tells, like, some edgy joke or says something like that, people get really mad about it. It's because, again, we're dumbing everything down for the people that have the least social skills and the least self-awareness, and that's it. How privileged is it for a Reddit admin to not know what real hate is? Well, it's because it's probably this. What do you think these people are? Do you think that they're actually part of, like, some kind of, like, oppressed a minority of people? Of course not. If they were, they wouldn't have time to be Reddit admins. Like, these are just people that are in the West that have nothing better to do than tell other people in the world what they can and can't talk about. It's like it's the pinnacle of useless job.
Dude, they don't even earn money from it.
Yeah, marketing to the lowest common denominator. Exactly, yeah. People are fucking hypocrites, so they just want to tell other people what to think.
They basically be a Reddit.
And I think the problem is that, and here's the issue, is that a lot of people like me, like, I try, and you guys might not believe this, but I try to be a reasonable person and I try to see other people's points of view. But I think that this is the case with me, and also a lot of other people on the internet, is that I'm sick of trying to see the point of view of a person who won't try to see your point of view. These aren't people who are used to, like, they want you to see things the way that they see them, but the moment that you ask them to see things the way that you see them, they call you a racist or they say that you're a bad person. No, this is a two-way street. And the respect is just simply not given to anybody who doesn't think the same way that they do. And I find this to be very obnoxious. It's very annoying that people can be joking around and having fun and everything is fine, and somebody tries to reframe an argument about how, yeah, if this was a joke about killing, if Hitler made a joke about the Holocaust, would you be like, that's not what's happening. Right. Like, it's just this, like, massive, like, emotional blackmail, intellectual dishonesty that I think so many people are so tired of. They're so tired of emotionally unstable weirdos trying to dictate the rules of engagement for society. It's exhausting.
Hey, you got it.
It's so exhausting.
Oh, wait, so how do... Oh, shit, how do... Oh, man,
and what was it? He pointed out that the posts mentioned were against hatred. The whole point of them was to make fun of nationalists in the region by parodying them to a ridiculous extent. They also claimed that a Reddit admin should be helping them to make sure their community is within guidelines, not going on a power trip and harassing them because they don't understand it. They even asked for contact with another admin who didn't have the comedic understanding of a 4-year-old, but instead, Cheetor made
the odds are it would be even worse.
So every post on 2Balkan for You had to be filtered by the mods.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, it had over 100,000 users.
Yeah.
Basically creating a spam subreddit where no posts could be made and it was run into the ground.
That's
All of this eventually culminated in the deletion and ending of 2Balkan for You. A sad day in internet history.
Well, what's happened is that Reddit has become too big and they are too prioritized around trying to create a narrative and trying to make money through advertising, and they no longer exist for the benefit of the users. The users exist for the benefit of Reddit. And Reddit back in like 2009 actually was one of the best websites on the internet. You guys might not remember this, but before like 2014 and even into like 2017, Reddit was a really great place and I loved Reddit. And then it's just everything got worse, man. Everything just got worse and worse and worse. It's a terrible long-term strategy. It is. It always comes down to money. I think that's what's happening.
It's not even the money. Like Reddit more doesn't even own
stayed the same until the very
end.
We own the subreddit, but we don't own the community. The community owns itself. And that was the end of Balkan People Internet.
There you go.
Good. Just kidding.
They're back
These
on
people
4chan.
have survived the strongest empires in history and each other. You think some Reddit admin could kill them? Here is Balkan's eye.
Yep, there we go. Of course. Yep, there we go. Another one. I guess it probably got changed there, but yeah, I'm not really too big of a surprise. Not really too big of a surprise there or not. But yeah. I think this is pretty funny to see. I'll link you guys this video. Somebody just sent it to me randomly, and I'm really glad to see this happen. I am that people are pushing back against this. I think that again, everybody like this is for me. I am tired of the rules of social engagement being defined by people who are afraid to answer their door when DoorDash arrives. I don't want this person telling me what to do and how to talk to people.
Dude,
I don't want to hear this.
Basically, the whole subreddit just for Balkan people messing around, and some people from outside just say, "Yeah, you cannot do it." It's like you hang out with your group of friends, say some dumb shit, and some people just suddenly walk inside, like just join in, like someone you don't even know, telling, "Yeah, you are guy not allowed to talk like this." It's so fucking dumb. Just Reddit admin being some random. Where's the enchanted soul? Like, is there a way you can buy enchanted soul?
I don't know if I'm ready to watch this today. Do it? All right. I'll watch it. I'll see what this is at least. This could be stupid, but we'll see.
Americans, known for their many inventions, their massive cultural influence over the world, their iconic landmarks, their massive military strength, and their size. No, I'm not talking about you guys' landmass or population, which by the way aren't even that big. Now, I'm talking about the country's massive obesity problem.
Oh, okay, all right, hold up. What's the fattest country in the world? What country has the highest rate for obesity? We're gonna find this out right now. We're gonna look into this. We're gonna see really if we're actually so fat. Most obese countries 2023. All right, who's number one?
Oh,
look at this. We're only number 10.
Only number 10
we're
is
only number 10. That's pretty good, right?
Top 10
by
obese.
Population. I mean, it's a percentage is what really matters. Yeah, we're not number one, guys.
Oh,
come on.
Fine, mate.
Jesus, bro. Like,
dude, that's a lot. I just realized that's a lot of like, McDonald's.
Oh god. Oh my god.
With this at Bucky's.
I've never been to Bucky's. Yeah, true. This is so ridiculous. This is so fucking crazy.
Oh, there's so many good range weapons, but I'm playing melee only now,
really
so it's
this
so
much of a joke? American cultural colonial cuisine lore. South Sea. What the fuck?
Audi is best South. I not 100% go to Audi, like not away.
What's this here?
Oh yeah.
Western diet on facial and dental development.
And I heard they sell like really a lot of stuff, and
Primitive
they can
South Sea
sell you
Islander,
like 5 kilogram
modernized
cheese or
South
something.
Sea Islander. Yo, what the fuck? America.
Aside from their gun laws, their use of weird metrics for no reason, and their lack of universal health care,
Fuck is a
Americans being
kilometer?
fat is one of the main things the rest of the world makes fun of them for. And this topic is
Where
actually
is the
such a
blue
sensitive subject that in
solution?
the
I
past,
want to
American
follow that.
politicians have had their entire
God damn. President Taft getting stuck? Newspapers depicting President Taft getting stuck in the bath due to his weight.
reputations ruined by fat jokes.
Oh.
But how bad is
Oh my-
America's obesity epidemic really? Is it just a silly stereotype or...
Oh my...
Oh. Either serious.
No.
Epidemic really? Is it just a silly stereotype or 73% of Americans are overweight? 42% of American adults are obese. Bro, the heaviest guy ever in the world's
Oh my
entire
God.
history was American. And that's right, guys, I'm gonna do the same thing that all overly serious geography channels with 4K stock footage backgrounds
Yeah.
and boringly normal political takes do, and compare America to Europe. Compared to
Okay.
America's 42% obesity
Yeah,
rate.
because like, are we really that fat? Because there's gotta be fat people in Europe, right?
Europe clocks in at only 17%, and that's
the EU, Europe, 17%. That's not
70% is literally all Turkey's fault. Okay, I'm not even joking. If you remove
Wait, 32% of people in Turkey are overweight.
the UK and Turkey from that statistic,
Dude, I don't
Europe
even
would have
think
like
a
minus
person can
obesity.
hit can go
Wait.
past 300 pounds.
We are at 41% obesity.
Like at
So
that point, I
that's
don't
like
even believe.
every third person you see is fat. I mean, I went to Golden Corral. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Like that's the wildest thing I ever see.
And there was a man there with his wife. He looked like a farmer. He was wearing the big overalls, and he had about, I'm not even fucking kidding you, 10 plates of food on his table. And he was sitting there with his wife,
Dude, I
watching
watching
anime
TLC.
at Golden Corral on a tablet together while they were eating 10 plates of food. That's the first farmer weeb I've ever seen.
Remove the
Dude, I watching like my 500-pound life from TLC, and I don't understand how do these people even exist. Like I believe like 280 or 270 is considered fat, but these people went to like 500, and some can went to like 700. Like at that point, do you even walk? Bedridden, you basically you can even not do anything. Like, your body cannot even handle that way. Like you basically need to, you can't even roll, like your body not even circle, it's like a blob. So yeah.
UK and Turkey
I
from
remember
that
I went there and I looked around and I realized I was the only person in the entire building besides my dad, because I went there with him, that wasn't overweight. I was the only person there.
statistic. Europe would have
They
like
used to have a fountain of chocolate
In
that you
Golden
could
Corral?
put your hand in, and there were a bunch of videos of people putting their hand in the fountain and then and I had to get rid of it because of COVID. So they stopped doing the fountain. No, I really mean this, guys. Like, look.
Oh, the chocolate fountain.
Hello and
Okay.
welcome back to Golden Corral. You know that last time you visited, when that man was eating without his shirt on, it was a terrible experience for you. So we've made many renovations to how we serve our food and our customers. That includes this upgraded 40-foot chocolate fountain. And if you were worried about bacteria and germs, don't worry any longer. When our staff preps the chocolate fountain every morning, they put in 10 bottles of hand sanitizer. Enjoy your stay at Golden Corral.
Oh, God. That's how it is, boys.
minus obesity percentage, okay? And if
See,
you
I
want to
had to show that video because I bet there were some Europeans that didn't see this. That's misleading, though, because by the definition of obesity, bodybuilders are obese. Oh, so we don't I see. So everybody at Golden Corral was actually a bodybuilder then. Now, what were they building?
Is they building what?
The America pilled side on this. You could argue that compared to European food, American food just tastes better, and therefore they eat more of it because it tastes nicer. Simple. That's kind of true in a way, but also completely not true in a way. For example, as much as I love a proper British meal, I'm not exactly going to be frantically binge eating beans on toast, you know? Also, take this Neapolitan pizza, right? Most people would agree it's really, really tasty, but it's not something you
Nah, bro, like,
I would eat like 2 slices.
Not even in a million years I eat that. Where's the pepperoni? I guarantee you Domino's clears this. I guarantee Domino's probably bro, like Domino's is just on another level. All right?
really get
just how it is, guys. I'm sorry. Look,
stuffing
what, y'all never had Domino's?
Even if you're full, it's literally just bread, cheese, tomato, and basil. It's not like that good. American food, on the other hand, is like the most
no. It's the oils and the grease and all this extra shit that they have in there. That's the problem.
Addictive, Moorish.
Y'all gotta go
America
to
has the
Domino's.
second highest salt consumption per capita in the world,
That's
second
nuts.
only to their best mates, China. The USA also has the highest
Is it that bad?
processed sugar consumption in the world, and this stuff literally makes your brain release dopamine, which is the same type of high you get off so basically American food is just weak ass crap, and for that reason it's a lot tastier for your dopamine starved brain than boring regulated European food. I mean, just wait till the Yanks find out about the UK's sugar tax.
Wait, what?
Or
The
sugar tax. Wait, you got taxed?
What? How much would one of these things be in one of them Europe places? $6 to $7, and this was like $2. I don't know what I would do.
I'll get back to that in a second. I just got a quick question for you. Have you ever used public networks and felt completely unsafe and unprotected?
No.
Data breaches and malware infections could just be one click away. Do you really want to risk your important data? Of course you don't. With CyberGhost VPN, you do not have to worry anymore. Once you turn it on via the app, CyberGhost transmits your data through a secure encrypted tunnel, giving you a very high level of online anonymity and military-grade security. You'll not lose any speed or responsiveness. You'll be able to access a ton of blocked online libraries from over 40
You gotta use this now for that Amazon Prime shit. They're trying to make you watch ads. Bro, I feel like people are gonna start going back to pirating soon. Using stuff like this to pirate stuff. I feel like, it's like people are gonna go back to the old days.
streaming services, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, many more. Change your online location in just 3 clicks and get 40% more content from the library you currently have. Use one subscription to protect and enjoy online freedom on up to 7 devices, so it's the perfect choice to protect your family. Also, CyberGhost VPN is compatible with most operating systems, including Windows, Mac OS, Linux, iOS, and Android, smart TVs, and even gaming consoles. They got more than 38 million users, an excellent rating on Trustpilot, and a price of just $2.
Wait, so if you use that on a gaming console, can't you cheat in the game? And then VPN? And then just cheat again? No? Okay.
Cents per month, plus 4 months free. So act quickly. Click the link in the description.
Yeah, I never
to get
done it
special
on a
discount
console.
CyberGhost VPN is granting to the Geopod community. It's a 45-day money-back guarantee and 24/7 customer support, so everything is risk-free. Anyway, whilst I know taxing sugar does seem like an extreme measure, the results don't lie.
Remember what happens whenever they tax tea? That's right.
Now, the main
that?
reason why loads of European countries have
Chills,
taxes
brother.
to make sugary products more expensive is
Don't
so
let that
these
happen.
unhealthy foods don't become the most affordable option for poor people. As you can see on this map of America, these states in the deep south are the poorest in the country. These same states are also the most obese in the country.
Oh, shit. Alabama, Mississippi, and what's that? LA, Los Angeles. No. What the hell is that one? Louisiana. Yep, there it is. Yeah, I don't know where the states are. It's not important to know where Louisiana is. Now, I can tell you every single rare spawn in every single area in World of Warcraft and its patrolling patterns, but I honestly don't know what the fuck this is. Is that like Massachusetts or something? I don't know.
This is because the cheapest...
Poor people only get access to shit food, that's why they're obese?
Nope.
No, I disagree with that.
It's
I don't
because they're
think
too
that's
lazy to
true.
cook their own food.
I think poor people are obese because they don't cook their food.
Also, it's really easy and cheap now to get fast food. I mean, I think it's quite kind of easy to get fast foods now. But it's not cheap anymore, so unfortunately, yeah. I mean, like 10 years ago, maybe it's easy to get fast food, but now you cannot even get it.
You can make a lot of money. You can make a lot of healthy food by cooking it yourself. Everybody knows that eating Little Debbie's is bad for you. This is a lazy fat cope that, oh, we're not educated on how to cook food. You're not educated on how to cook food, but somehow these people probably over there are educated in the 17 different ways that Donald Trump actually won the 2020 election. Get the fuck out of here. You just don't care. Don't waste my fucking time and try to gaslight me and goof me around. Oh no, that's not really, you don't understand. Get the fuck out of here. You're lazy and you like eating Cheetos. Then do it. But it's not the world's fault. You can make chicken and rice all week for way cheaper than McDonald's every day.
Chicken and rice, but it doesn't taste that good, right?
Absolutely. It's not outright easy to eat healthy on welfare, but it's damn well possible.
You can make chicken and rice every day. That's the main thing is it doesn't taste as good like McDonald's chicken.
The general amount of money that you get for food stamps every single month is $200, or at least it was about 10 years ago. You can easily get enough produce as an individual because this is for a single adult, right? And if you have dependents or you have other people in the household, you also get more money. Like whenever I was getting food stamps, we got like $360. So like, I know about this because I had food stamps. There's a lot of people that like talking and they don't really know what they're saying. They've never been in the situation before.
Like,
I've been to the grocery store before. I don't have people do my shopping for me. I go out and I shop and I get my own
healthy,
food.
But they doesn't taste good.
I know what the price of things are.
That's why like,
I had food
McDonald's
stamps.
And any other fast
I know
food
what this is. You
like
can
it
easily
it
cook healthy food on a budget and on food stamps. In fact, it's easier. I remember my mom and I would do that all the time. It's just fat coke. That's it. 20 years ago, maybe. Do you know how much we get nowadays? It was 10 years ago, number one. Number two, I don't know how much people get nowadays. You're right. How much do people get nowadays? I get 180, 291, 290, $300. It's more. I would assume it's more. So we're looking, a lot of the numbers are between 280 and 300. For $300 a month, could you make healthy food for an entire, this is for an individual single adult?
Yeah.
I think that you could. Like for me, right? I could easily do that. Because I don't eat a lot of food.
Food in America is also the unhealthiest, most addictive shit possible.
Beef burger.
Also, on average in America, the lower paying your job is, the more hours you work. Meaning the poorer workers don't have time to cook proper meals, hence fast food. I mean, it's all good being a progressive West Coast hipster food influencer, telling everyone they need to start eating Greek yogurt, fresh fruit, and granola every morning if they want to lose weight. But if all you can afford is Frosted Flakes, you're gonna have to get that. Especially if you're chemically wired to only be able to wake up if you get your morning head rush of endorphin exploding sucrose. And then you factor in that this shit is actually marketed as healthy in the USA, and it's actually so over for any American.
Cereal makers sold us a breakfast myth, why Americans eat dessert for breakfast. Wait, what? You know what I eat for breakfast?
Nothing.
Number one, nothing. But if I do eat something for breakfast, I eat beef jerky for breakfast. That's my first steak of the day. Yeah, I have beef jerky. And then, like, you know, for dinner, I have, like, Chipotle. That's it. Because of the sugar, I don't know. That's all. I only eat, like, maybe 1-2 meals a day.
That want to lose weight. It's a bit like how drinks like Prime are marketed as healthy sports beverages.
This is healthy? What the fuck? Like, who the fuck said this was healthy?
Yeah, it might have less sugar, but realistically it contains like millions of toxic artificial sweeteners that will corrode away your internal organs faster than bleach would. Unfortunately, America's food industry is based more around marketing and selling a product for profit than actually providing decent scran for hardworking people. And the big food companies have one big trick up their sleeve to guarantee full obedience, addiction, and maximum profit from their American customers. MSG, the mystical white powder that, I quote, antagonizes your pancreas into pouring out more insulin, a hormonal cascade that makes you feel hungrier. So the food...
Really? That's nuts. Like, here's how I see it, right? Is like, I hardly eat any, like, boxed food. Like, I guess I eat a bag of beef jerky, and that's it. I think a big problem, I hope he talks about this in the video, is like, have you ever been to a restaurant and then they serve you your food and you're like, holy shit, I could eat this for a week? Like, how does a normal person eat that much food? It's just, it's insane.
I went to the US and I asked for a large drink. That thing is like 2 liters. No, not 2 liters, like 1.5
Who
liter
said
bottle.
that?
What
Many
the hell?
Americans think stops their hunger, actually makes them more hungry, and they eat way more food than they needed. Man, you know something has to be really bad for Pakistan to ban it. I mean, at least in Pakistan they use their legs, which is something that's completely unthinkable for a lot of Americans, since half of their cities and road networks are entirely built around accessing fast food chains and making sure people get as little exercise as possible.
There was actually so, you know, I had my, you know, I'm getting my car worked on right now, and I called an Uber, and the woman who picked me up, she picked me up in the wrong place, but I could tell it's like, oh, okay, that's the person. So I walked over to her, and she was like, oh, I'm so sorry you had to walk over here. And I'm like, it's okay. And she's like, oh, okay, well, you know, there are some people that get really bothered by that. And I'm like, man.
You get bothered by walking.
Really?
25% of Americans walk for more than 10 minutes continuously in a typical week. And I know you American...
Wait.
What, less than 10
than
minutes?
25% of Americans walk for more than 10 minutes continuously in a typical week. So isn't there like a type of meat that they have where like they make like the cows and like the animals and they're not allowed to move around? Veal? Yeah, it's veal, right? So we're veal. And we put ourselves in the cage.
Why that's so slow?
Oh my god.
Typical week. And I know you America-pilled guys might see public transport as pathetic, stupid, lefty nonsense, but realistically the 12-minute walk from your house to the train and the 13-minute walk from your train to your work, for some people could be the difference between being able to touch your toes and being morbidly ill. Also, another thing I wanted to quickly mention is how the US uses fast food addiction to economically colonize other countries. For example, the Marshall Islands, Guam, Micronesia, just loads of the Pacific Island nations. These countries once had extremely natural diets, mainly consisting of fish, which this part of the world is rich in. That was until America decided to nuke the shit out of their waters. Right. Bombs were tested here by the US military despite
what are we nuking them with Big Macs?
Local protest. This left a lot of fish dead or radioactive.
Wait, what? Vaporizing whole... Why is the fish green?
No. It's radiated fish.
He's supposed to be green?
Which, as you can imagine, was pretty bad for the
fishing industry. You need at least to get a call. So yeah.
People usually don't indulge in completely radioactive, potentially lethal produce if you didn't know. Damn, I wonder how true that is. So if we basically tested a bunch of bombs, and then like us testing the bombs caused all these people
bomb only
to just,
like in some southern state.
I wonder if this is
usually
true.
in
I mean,
the
you know, we
city
tested
you don't
in
even
Dresden,
like
right? So it's like
If you want to live near your work, you need to rent out in the city, and it costs even more.
Asians, poor, vulnerable, and in need of cheap food. Hey, did someone say Mickey D's? Yeehaw, did someone say goddamn Wendy's? Hey, did someone mention some clucky-looking Kentucky Fried God?
It's like, think about it from their perspective, right? It's like these random fat fucks show up and they use bombs to blow up all your fish. And now they're trying to fucking build hamburger shacks on your island. Because you can't eat the fish because they blew them all up. What is this, bro?
Damn chicken, who ordered some Burger King? Hell yeah! This has led to this region becoming the most unhealthy, most insanely obese part
This is every single top 10 country for obesity is a Pacific Island nation. This is incredible.
of the world. Kinda reminds me a bit of how the US treated Native Americans' rations. Yeah, we know you're 100% goddamn reliant off our rations since we eradicated 100% of your goddamn stupid, healthy, natural food source. So in return, we're gonna send you just enough sugar and lard and hard liquor and gambling chips for you to stay alive. Freedom! So anyway, I guess the moral of this story is maybe beans on toast isn't actually that bad.
Nah, I'd rather eat bean on rice rather than toast.
And don't forget, hit that link in the description to get the special discount CyberGhost VPN is granting to GFO viewers. Protect your data whilst you browse, get full access to blocked content on the internet for only $2.03 a month. Totally risk-free, so check it out. Link in the description.
So we literally showed up to these Pacific Islands and we blew up all their fish and we're selling fast food.
Sum up like that.
No way, right? I mean, like, what?
Oh.
We blew up all the fish. That's incredible. Correlation doesn't mean causation. It doesn't, but sometimes it does. But sometimes, though, you know what I mean? Sorry, we nuked your food source. Here's some small fries. In the fairness, USA probably didn't know the full risks and long-term effects of nuclear bombs. Well, if we had known it, we'd have still done it, though, right? We'd have just been like, damn, this is fucked up. We have to do this. Damn, man, doesn't this... Bro, I bet this sucks for them. Damn, man.
Nah, please stop flying. Goddamn, I hate it, goddamn boss.
I mean, we gotta do it, right? So, all right. So, when do you want to do it?
This is like one of the worst mod in Terraria.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I mean, do you think they would really give a fuck? Absolutely not. Dude, this is incredible. I had no idea about this. I'll link y'all the video. This is funny. In Kansas City, they ran an obesity survey on the streets. 52% declared themselves overweight, 21% morbidly obese, and 18% about just having the right weight. The rest, 9% ate the survey.
Oh, the soul now. Actually, first try. But you don't have a McDonald's. Dude, it's so easy just to go to like any McDonald's or fast food store to buy fast food for $10. That's why a lot of people like it. That's why a lot of people like do it. So they don't have to like buy stuff as they have to cook. But like they think cooking it just take way too much time for them, so, you know. So they just buy it. I mean, why do you cook if you can just buy fast food and eat it? Done with it. Yeah.
Something bad. I can never just be a...
What the hell is this?
And my knees hurt when I walk. Okay.
Oh.
Well, Susan, the problem with that's not all.
Yeah.
I run out of breath really easily, and I just feel tired all the time. Yeah, Susan, I think I might know what the problem you're having is. And every doctor I've gone to about this problem has just been really fat phobic. Always making comments about my weight and my diet, and it's just really insulting. Susan, I think they might be... I might be a bit plus size, but it's got nothing to do with my health. I don't know why they keep bringing it up. One doctor even called me the slur obese. Excuse my language. Wait, the slur obese? What do you mean? What do you mean slur? God, they're all so bigoted and closed-minded. Doctor, I just want a solution to my problem. Can you help me out, please, man? Yo, you're joking, right?
So,
hello, lady.
You want to know another example of this? How this has already happened is retarded. So retarded used to be the word that you would use as the euphemism for a word that was worse. But now we don't use, now retarded is seen as the bad word and people are using neurodivergent instead. Now, guys, I think that if you are using a word that is supposed to mean a lack of mental acuity or awareness or some variation of that, and you're using it in a derogatory way, it doesn't matter what word you're using. That's what I think. I think that people are just looking for a new way to complain about something stupid. The Linus word? Oh, the hard R. Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, Starlight, and Huey. Welcome back to the channel. Or if this just so happens to be your first time here, then I'm not even gonna say it. Okay, you know.
I've never seen this.
You know. And before people go in the comments and say, "Oh, you sound so different. Why do you sound so different?" It's because I got braces, I got grills. Okay, that's why I low-key have a little bit of a lisp. All right, some words.
I had braces whenever I was a kid, from like 8th grade to like 10th grade.
Still kind of hard to pronounce, but to be fair, most of it is faded by now, but it's still
there.
That
way, when my teeth fell out a few years later, they fell straight out rather than on an angle.
Teeth fell out?
Just by a tiny little bit. And if you say you can't hear a difference, then I'm gonna give you flowers, okay? I'm gonna give you roses and dandelions. I was supposed to take a 2-week break off YouTube so my speech could recover, but I had to make this video. This is just retarded. Now, before I go on and on and on, let me just preface this.
You wanna know what I fucking think is funny about this? Is the fact that even this person, like, you don't even have a picture of a fat chick as your profile. Like, you don't want to be that. You don't even want to pretend to be fat on the internet. Y'all see this?
By saying, I don't have a problem when people complain on the internet. Honestly, I don't. I'm doing it right now. If someone wants to sit down and complain about something, then honestly, I think that's perfectly...
This guy, man. Do you remember this guy?
I don't even know there is a word for.
He got caught talking to like a white girl at a fucking.
We call it neurodivergent.
Dr. Umar, yeah. He got caught talking to a white girl at like a mall or something like that. It was so fucking funny, man. Was that an airport? Yeah.
Fine. Sometimes it's funny, constructive, and actually entertaining. It only becomes a problem when you're crying and whining about something which you yourself can control. It's one thing if I complain about Cocoa Pops tasting like shit because they took the sugar out. I don't know why they did that. But it's different if I'm the CEO of Cocoa Pops complaining about the same thing. Like, do you not see how stupid that would be? You fucking made it, you twat. And similar to that, if you complain about getting made fun of on the internet while you simultaneously...
Oh my fucking god! Who are these people? This is why we used to have those places that you would put them in.
I could understand.
Simultaneously act like a retard on the internet. You're a fucking idiot. I don't feel like I'm
I could understand is that girl or not that girl.
Entertaining. It only becomes a problem when you're crying and whining about something which you yourself can control. It's one thing if I complain about Cocoa Pops tasting like shit because they took, I don't know, entertaining. If you complain about getting made fun of on the internet while you simultaneously...
If I could understand, is it person doing it just to like sell the item, you know, like advertising on TikTok or something, and they doing this thing to like advertise the product. Not understandable. What they do is their free time in their own room and do the thing. Oh, I'm gonna judge. I'm 100% gonna judge. It's such a weird thing for sure.
Oh my fucking god! Who are these people?
But if you do it in comfort of your home, yeah,
This is why we used to have those places that you would put them in.
Simultaneously act like a retard on the internet, you're a fucking idiot. I don't feel like I'm breaking new grounds here. This shit should be obvious. In conclusion, don't complain about things which you can solve through your own actions, okay? Yep. I thought this would be common sense by now, but clearly the internet has reduced all of our IQs by at least 200. And for some reason, I don't feel like it's gonna get any better anytime soon. But easily one of the dumbest communities on the internet is the fucking body positivity, fat liberation, body diversity, plus size, literally every single other word under the sun other than what they actually are. Obese. You are obese, okay? You're not body liberated, you're not plus size, a fucking large
Well, they are liberated. They're liberated from being able to fly in an airplane.
At KFC as plus size. You're just fucking obese, man. You can call it whatever you want. It is not gonna change that fact. We've been over this several times.
Jesus Christ. Bro, this guy's farming them.
Bread and chicken.
And like I've said in those previous
Yeah, they're gonna die of old age at 35. Yeah, guys, I've only got a year left.
Several times, no one cares that you're obese. If you want to sit down and eat pizza and ice cream all day, go ahead,
do whatever you want.
We don't care. People only start making fun of you when you complain about being overweight. You can't cry and whine about thin
The U.S. hates fat people.
The U.S. hates fat people.
I bet they do.
Privilege when you sit down and eat enough food to feed a family of 4.
Oh my
These people are so fucking tone deaf it hurts to watch. At KFC.
Is that real? Just
I bet
leave
they
a burger?
do.
Inside
When
ramen?
you sit down and eat enough food to feed a family of 4.
Oh my god, see deep a burger in the goddamn ramen. How the hell does it people even eat like that? Tastes fucking disgusting.
Oh my
These people are so fucking tone deaf it hurts to watch. I've literally seen some accounts on TikTok where they'll go, oh my god, my jeans won't fit. They need to make bigger jeans, and then they'll
Somebody gets too fat for their clothes and they start blaming the store.
Dude.
What the fuck? Wasting food equals terrorism? I mean, for them, I think they believe it.
I believe wasting food.
Simultaneously post what I eat in a day, and it's the
way too much.
The part about this, bro, like, look what it went and said. Donut number 1.
Donut number 1, yeah, not.
It's not donut. It's only donut number 1.
Where's this modern sauce?
What? How many?
What I eat in a day, and it's the worst food ever. Like, the solution to your problem is right there.
French fries and an Impossible cheeseburger.
It's on your account, you fucking wanker. But the worst thing these people do is that they'll genuinely convince themselves that there's nothing wrong with being obese.
I don't think this is that big of a problem because I think that this is... I'm an asshole. Everybody knows this. It's natural selection. That's what happens.
I mean, ranch and hot dog,
if you believe this, it is.
Not even
And if you think this is what's going to happen, go ahead and believe in it. Delulu, yeah, there it is. This problem solves itself. I wish they died younger, wasting resources. You need to stop thinking that. That's a horrible thing for you to think.
Oh, this thing is the enemy.
Because when they die younger, they actually use less resources. So it's actually not a bad thing. Because, so basically the way that a lot of medical expenses are incurred within like the last year or really even the last 3 to 1 month of life. So if somebody lives fast and dies hard at 700 pounds at the ripe old age of 29, we saved a lot of money.
Dude, you don't even need to work out.
And so
you need to exercise. You basically wake up, do some scratching, do some jogging around your room, your house, everything. That's good enough. You don't even need to be basically go to the gym and lift thing. Just jog or walking. And that's fine. You don't even need to basically lifting weight. Unless you want to further more. But if you eat way too much, then you probably need to jog a lot. Yeah, like the best way to look at it, every morning you can see a group of Asian lady walking and jogging, or every evening. That's how they can keep in shape. They just jogging and they being healthy. That it. Just walk. You don't even need to lifting weight. That is. That's not my advantage. You're just too lazy to
I'm not
even
really
like
gonna feel
working
bad
out.
about this. No, don't. Hey, listen. Just you gotta think about the math.
We need to go over why that just doesn't make any sense. I've done it before, so I don't think I need to, but I will say that looking like this will, and is going to kill you.
Yeah.
And is 100% going to
you
cause
walk
you
around
health
your
issues
house.
down the line. Like heart problems, kidney problems, joint problems, bone problems. Do I even need to go on?
Yeah.
I mean, that short list is bad enough, but the full one is pretty fucking bad. Now, I'm not saying that people who aren't fat don't have these problems, but I am saying that if you are fat...
I think here's the problem. This is why everybody fucking gets annoyed by this shit. It's not that... Because, like, there are people... Like, here's the thing. Some people treat their body like a temple. I treat mine like a zoo. I eat fast food every day. I drink soda constantly. I live like an absolute fucking animal. And you know what I don't do? I don't say, hey, guys, this is normal. Oh, this is normal. Wow, guys, it's normal. This is just me being normal. Wow, look how normal I am, guys. Fuck out of here. It's insane.
He's quite skinny, so I don't think
That's
he eat a
the
lot.
reason why people are fucking annoyed.
But he
It's
doesn't
not that
eat
it's
healthy either.
happening. It's that you're trying to tell us it's fucking normal.
Yeah,
and
but
I think that's unhealthy. Because young girls see that and they're like, oh, it's okay. No, it's not.
You are much more likely to have these problems. That's not me being fat phobic, that's me using what they taught me back in primary school. Children know this. Most people know this. Even you fat people know this. That's why they love the delusion of fat just being a body type. To which it's not.
Well, it is a body type. Fentanyl is a type of substance.
A drug, yeah.
And you know what else is another type of substance? Lettuce. So fentanyl and lettuce are both substances. So what's the difference? Body type C? No, this is body type O.
Obese.
It comes with many different issues, but
yeah.
All right. They go as far as to call people fat phobes, which is a pretty rational fear from.
Oh my god, because that
I want to address an argument that's really starting to piss me off.
Call people fat phobes, which...
Fat phobia is not oppression because fat people can just lose weight.
Yeah.
I like how she puts F at T. Do you have a take on why it's only fat women? Yeah, sure. Absolutely. The reason why fat women are trying to push this is because they're trying to normalize their lifestyle. And fat guys don't have the same type of... like, so as a guy, your appearance is like 40% of why a girl is going to pick you. And, I mean, this is... It's general, right? I mean, but for me, it's 39. Shut the fuck up. This is... Just think about what I'm trying to say. It's like 40%. But, like, as a girl, it's closer to like 60, 70, or 80%. So girls want to normalize being overweight and make being overweight normal. And also this is another well, you could say it's hogwash. The belief that back in the day being fat was considered attractive. I mean, this is only true if you take away all of the context to it. The reason why being fat was considered attractive back in the 1700s, for example, is because it was an indicator of wealth. And the wealth was what was attractive. Being fat was just an indicator of it. A lot of people don't know that in medieval times. Yes, exactly. And also, there are plenty of people that like fat chicks. Like, this is obvious. We all know this. So it's not like nobody likes them, but the reason why it's girls is because girls are the ones that want to normalize it because guys don't want to date them. So they're trying to change the way that society sees being overweight, so it's easier for them to get a boyfriend, right? That's basically it.
It's a pretty rational fear, if I'm being honest.
Dude, how do your body even like this? Like, how do you even like walk? How do you even walk? Like, even if you're losing weight, doesn't that mean your body's gonna have spare skin? You know, like leftover skin from the weight that they build up. Like, how did you?
In their right mind would want to look like
good.
this. Absolutely fucking no one. It's just in recent times there's been
There's plenty of people that do. They're feeders, and there's like feedies. There's like there's even a breed of that where the sexual satisfaction comes from feeding somebody to the point of death. It's called death feederism if you want to look it up. Oh yeah. There's a whole iceberg of this.
Wait,
it's more like an anchor, but
weird push into glorifying this stuff. The silly, health it all size, my body is beautiful dog shit that no one actually believes has, for some reason, become a main statement in today's modern media. And it just keeps getting worse.
Well, the problem is that like people took it way too far. Like for a long time, there was this idea that you had to be like 120 pounds as a woman. And like, you know, it was like based off of like Victoria's Secret models, which is like, in my opinion, I don't really find a lot of those girls particularly attractive, right? That's not like my preferred body type. But, and like, if I think about like, what are the characters in WoW that look like that? They look like the Nightfallen characters in, what was it? The middle area in Legion. And they look like the Nightfallen people before they got the mana. In Suramar, yeah, like the withered. That's the way they look to me. They look like Victoria's Secret models. And so, yeah, I think they look awful. And so a lot of that was like a trend away from like that beauty standard. But the problem is that it's gone too far in the other direction.
Have the word obese trending on Twitter or X. Or whatever the fuck people call it nowadays, I don't care. Now, to everyone who actually enjoys their life and doesn't use Twitter, you're probably wondering, why was the word obese trending? Well, now the word obese, the medical term obese, is considered a slur. Yes, obese is considered...
Oh, she's fat. Yeah, what do you expect? And she's blaming Elon Musk. Where literal slurs are allowed to trend. In Asian countries, the women there are rarely obese. I don't know. I mean, that's what I hear, but I've never been there.
You want to know why a lot of Asian women are not considered obese? Because they're actually working out. They're actually jogging. They actually take care of themselves. That it. It's hard to get. Basically, in Asian culture, if you fat, you consider lazy, basically. And if you don't work hard, you're lazy, and you basically become good at nothing. They just really good at attacking.
Considered a slur. Yes.
Yeah.
A slur. The word should now be censored and treated like...
I want to read this. Hold up. Let me read this.
A slur. The word...
Oh, no.
Yep, it's shameful.
Mercedes claims that obesity is a slur used to exact violence on fat people, particularly black, disabled, trans, poor, fat people, and offers a fat ode to care that students are instructed to analyze, taking note of which sections most resonate for you.
What?
How much do you guys want to bet that the person who said that originally has a job at a company that is not... it is not crucial for that company to produce its product. They have a non-essential job. Yeah, I think this is a 100% chance. Yeah. Does that have to be satire? No, it's not.
The word should now be censored
some of them
and
probably
treated
are,
like
right?
the N-word. Honestly, I couldn't make this up even if I tried. Even though I have zero
It's pretty much the
expectations
same
of
thing.
anyone on the internet,
Yeah, guys.
I'm still somehow disappointed.
I can always identify someone who doesn't have a great grasp on history if they see medicalization as a stamp of inherent virtue. This comes up a lot when I talk about how the word obese is a slur. At least one person will always pop their head out of the ground to say, obese is a medical term.
But it quite literally is. It says it right here. It's a medical condition that people can get diagnosed with.
As if that somehow makes it better.
No, that would just not make it a slur. It would make it a medical condition.
You know what else used to be a medical term? Like a lot of bad shit we don't say anymore. Because we realized it was stigmatizing as fuck and it actively harmed people.
You know what else actively harms people?
Well, here's the thing, is that if we change the word obese to being something else, like,
It's still the same meaning. It still has the same
I don't
meaning.
know.
It
You can
means
come up
fat
with any
people.
word, right? It doesn't really matter. People will turn that word into a slur. And the examples of words that were used back in the day as medical distinctions that turned into slurs, the only ones that we really don't use anymore are the ones that were racially, racially motivated, like mongoloid or something like that. We don't use that word anymore because that's a racially charged word. It's a bad thing to say. You don't say that. And so at least, like, you know, most people don't say it. It's been changed. Autism, right, exactly. And so there are other examples of this, but I think that's probably the best one. Maybe retard, yeah.
People, obesity. You fucking twat. And unlike words, obesity actually harms people on a biological level. And even if you call it something else like round or big-bodied or morbidly obtuse, it's not gonna change the fucking issue. Because it's
people are just gonna use whatever word that you use as an insult. It doesn't matter. It's like you're just moving the goalposts and obfuscating things so you can make it seem like people can't say what your lifestyle is bad. That's the only thing they're doing.
There's a new word you came up, still
it's a health problem. People are still gonna suffer from obesity whether you call it obesity or not. My God.
Well, I would expect, actually, if you keep changing the name of it, that, you know, it actually becomes harder for people to deal with. Right? I mean, like, think about, for example, like how many times they've changed, like PTSD wasn't originally called PTSD. You know, they used to call it in World War I shell shock. And I think that, like, the constant changing of that term, this is a George Carlin thing, right? Is that the constant changing of that term was done, and I think it did a disservice to veterans because it was like you're resetting the awareness of the issue.
Never thought I'd ever have to explain that.
Science and language are both constantly evolving and updating. The medical establishment is not exempt from this.
Well, science isn't necessarily updating. Our understanding of science is updating. These are two very different things.
If anything, it's actually a particularly strong example of how this happens. We don't need to look too far back into history at all to see how medical terminology and practices change.
Yeah, well, that's due to a little known fact called technology. The reason why medical practices change is
because something else will...
Due to technological advances.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they didn't have technology to pinpoint each medical issue. But
well,
now...
No, that's not even the reason. The real reason why it's changed is because the better, more effective solution was discovered. That's the reason why it gets changed. So it's like, yeah, this is really bad. Okay, maybe we should wash our hands because we've done testing and we have done experimentation that has led us to this conclusion.
We do, and with that knowledge, we can tell that being morbidly obese is not good for you.
Yeah.
For example, homosexuality is no longer diagnosed as a mental illness. Female hysteria is not something that's diagnosed anymore.
Yeah, because obesity is not a mental
If I speak, I'm in big trouble.
Ah, yes. Two psychological thought processes which don't inherently kill you. You know, guys, I think I'm starting to see the relation between that and having plaque literally cover your organs. Yeah, they're definitely the same thing.
Cocaine and heroin are no longer prescribed as anesthetics or cough suppressants. Lysol cleaning spray is no longer used as a douche. We don't perform ice pick lobotomies anymore. And doctors no longer advocate for the health benefits of smoking cigarettes. Oops.
You know, it's almost
That's because every single one of those circumstances, there was testing, experimentation, and peer-reviewed research that arrived at the conclusion that these things were bad. That's why they were changed. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
like there's a way for doctors to tell if there's something biologically harmful to you.
Yeah.
I wonder if they can still do that. Oh well, I guess not. Is her argument here that science is just outdated and that there's nothing unhealthy about being overweight? Because if that's the case, then she'd be wrong. The same.
Well, I mean, these are the people, like, you can't expect somebody like this. Like, here's the thing. I remember back whenever I was in school, and there were a lot of girls in the school, and guys, too. It's not really a girl thing. They just dumb as fuck. Like, they're not going to understand a periodic table. They don't know what gravity is. They don't know how to do multiplication. This person is like, you know, 150 years ago, 1,500 years ago, this person would be perfect for taking big rocks and turning them into little rocks with a big rock. They would be great for this. But now society has evolved in a way that this person has no outlet. So what do? They make videos justifying being fat on TikTok. That's the next best thing.
We know smoking cigarettes is bad is the same way that we know overeating is bad.
Yeah.
You'd expect a fully grown adult to know this.
It's crazy.
More importantly, when a marginalized group tells you that a word or practice harms them, you can just go ahead and believe them.
Oh, God.
No.
Nope.
I'm not going to allow somebody to dictate what I...
Dude, if a group saying they think it doesn't like fit with them, they just gonna abuse that thing. Dude, imagine a group of Asian tells you you're not allowed to go in here because you're not Asian. It's just basically discrimination at most. So yeah, nope. Or like a group of Asian people tells them, oh yeah, don't call it Asian. Okay, what are you gonna do? Are you still gonna call them Asian, or you're not gonna call them Asian, or just call them something else? It's basically it, yeah.
I think.
It's so dumb.
So because you're fat, I have to listen to you? Nope.
You're literally eating yourself to death, so don't.
I don't think so. It's just
Dude, if you feel pound overweight, that's sure fine, but it's okay. But if you're 10 pound overweight, 10, 20, hey, okay, a little bit overweight, you should probably, you know, jogging a little bit. But if you're like 100, yeah, that definitely be a big problem for you in the future.
That's about it.
I love alcohol. I love me some alcohol. Listen, buddy, I'm glad to have you at the bar and all, but I think you've had too much. I think you might be an alcoholic. Hey, you can't say that word. That word is a slur. I don't appreciate that word. That word is very harmful. Listen, I'm sorry, man. I know the word alcoholic might be harsh, but this is your 13th drink. I think you might have had too many. No! No, I fucking haven't. You know what? I'm sick and tired of people using that derogatory term against me. I don't think you understand just how harmful that word is to me. So pour me another fucking pint or else I'm gonna put my boot up your bollocks. Dude, you're an alcoholic. It doesn't matter what word I use here. The problem is this guy drinks too fucking much. I don't understand how people
By the way, here's another little fun fact here, is that the Guinness Book of World Records actually no longer takes in records for fat animals because it was creating an encouragement for people to overfeed their pets, which was considered animal abuse. Yeah.
too fucking much. I don't understand how people can argue against this. My point here is you can call it whatever you want, it's not gonna change the fact that obesity is an underlying medical condition. And if you view that as offensive, well then that kind of contradicts your entire fat liberation argument. I thought it was okay to be morbidly obese. Why is it now all of a sudden a word that shouldn't be said?
Just a reminder that I am very fat and very sexy.
Nope.
And I am 100% glorifying obesity.
Go ahead, do whatever you want. Now, I'm sure there's probably some dude out there that thinks that she's hot, and go ahead. Like, I don't care. Yeah, you want to be fat? Go ahead, be fat. Like, yeah. What's the problem with that? Like, I mean, I don't care. Like, now, I don't want to hear about, like, how, like, the thing is, yeah, that's fine. The problem is, like, it's not that you're fat. Like, you be fat all you want. Who cares? But I just don't want to hear about how it's healthy.
Oh my god. She just said the O word. Twitter, cancel her.
No, they can say that. It's like the N word. They can say it. We can't say it. They can say it.
Seriously,
Duh.
what are the rules
It's
here?
their word,
Is it
yeah.
bad? Is it good? Is it a word that no one should ever say? Because if so, then I have a few replacement suggestions. Fat Talk, feel free to contact me. But this all just feels like they're just ignoring their health. Like one big everyone close your ears and go la 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 la, I don't want to hear the obese word. To which, okay, fine, but that's not gonna change the fact this word. To which, okay, fine, but that's
Is this your seat?
not.
No,
Jesus.
She's taking 2C. She better pay for 2C. If you that obese, you're taking another. You're taking another person. You better.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna change the fact that you are obese. Oh, sorry. I meant you're plus sized. And so is a plaque in your arteries. Good luck with heart disease.
Obesity is a noun, and it doesn't describe how large something is.
Well, actually.
Hell yeah.
Obesity is a noun. True. Obesity is actually a defined amount, and that's how bodybuilders are classified as obese.
What?
The word obese is an adjective. And is a word used
that's how
to
you
describe
have morbidly obese. Because that's also a definition, which is 100 pounds above the normal weight.
Do you think
I'm
the
a large human
morbidly
being,
obese
so
got added later
no,
on because people
you're
found out
wrong.
that
Yeah,
people,
it's
a lot
just,
of
it's
people
not even true. Yes.
We don't say that that house is obese.
The word obese is used to describe people, genius.
The term obesity comes with judgment, not
Well,
a
of
judgment.
course it's a judgment. Obesity is a judgment. It's like you're obese. You've just been judged. This is true. That's accurate.
Of the size of that person, but of how they became large.
What are you
Wait, what?
Of that person, but of how they became judgment. Not a judgment of the size of that person, but of how they became large.
What are you talking about? By definition, it literally is used to describe how large someone is. At this point, you're just throwing in random shit in to make it sound like you know what you're talking about. The word obese is a chronic disease that impairs health, okay? You can try and shift the definition all you want, saying all this fucking judgment.
Bro, she's talking about Latin. How are you talking about Latin, bro? Like, which puts the blame on the larger person as if food carries moral value.
What? I don't understand.
I got a new Mr. Beast idea.
Why?
It's a weight loss. It's gonna be it's a weight loss area, right? And so what you do is you put a big open air place and have the walls just be like 6 feet tall. So you can see some of them and you can just like look down on them, and you can put a bunch of people that are really, really fat in this area, and you can put inside of the area small holes that if they get thin enough and they lose enough weight, they can escape. And then the last one to leave gets a free like surgery to have like their like that stomach surgery done. Right? It's like it's a battle royale. Yeah, exactly. And so because like, you know, Call Boogie, yeah, that's cool. I know. I think this is a really good idea. This is how Mr. Beast could rebuild the brand.
Dude, if that was a zoo, what if you'll just see Royal Hippo?
You could call it the Hunger Games.
An elephant. Like, a zoo need to have a variety.
Judgment bullshit. But it's not gonna change the fact that being obese is bad for you. It's not neutral, it's fucking bad for you.
Yeah, it is.
Word comes from Latin, meaning to overeat, which puts the blame on the larger person.
Yeah. Where else is the blame supposed to go?
Well, it's obviously the patriarchy. It's got to be it's Elon Musk, Donald Trump. Let's see what else. There's probably like the school system. I mean, there's got to be a lot of reasons, right?
Me? Is it my fault that you can't go outside?
Wait, what is this here? What does it say? Bro, I love reading these. I really do. Accessibility is for everyone. No one feels so ashamed or embarrassed for using the tools and needs to navigate the world. Okay, true.
Can't go outside without...
Your worth is not determined by your size or ability. You deserve to feel uncomfortable and confident wherever you go.
Yeah, who eating
good for you.
A fucking scooter? Or is it your fault because you refuse to eat a salad once in a while?
As if food carries moral value. It doesn't, and we should stop using this word.
Well, obviously it doesn't hold moral value. It's just food. The food itself isn't the problem here. The problem is when you eat 3,000 to 4,000 calories of it every day.
You eat a
can
family
change the
meal
word
and you wonder
all
why
you want. The problem is still gonna be there. You fucking idiot.
Yeah, these are people, they change the word on it. They think it's gonna convince people it's different.
I like that word. Can we change it? Mate, the word's not the
What you have to understand is that if it wasn't for McDonald's, that... Well, here's what happens, right? Is like McDonald's puts out these advertisements and they say like, if you go to McDonald's, you're going to get good food. And so then they have to go to McDonald's. That's what happens. Yeah. So it's really not even their fault. It's like, well, why don't you get mad at McDonald's for putting out these advertisements, getting everybody to think this?
Problem. The problem is that your internal organs probably look like Indian street food. You're the size of 3 people, and most of you.
The problem is that you want people to ignore it. I don't care how big your fucking organs are. You want to be fat? Go ahead and be fat. You want to be fat as a motherfucker? Go ahead and do it. You want to do that? That sounds great. But I just do not want to fucking hear about how it's okay. About how it's normal. It's not fucking normal. You think people evolved from monkeys. Monkeys can climb a tree. Can they climb a tree? No, bro. They're a mountain. It's not going to happen.
Can't even sit down in a chair. You want to change the word to round? You want it to be plus size? You want it to be fucking morbid? It doesn't make a difference because the health problems that obesity cause are still gonna be there.
That basically
God, these people are so brain dead.
Why is it offensive to call someone fat who is fat?
Hello, certified fat person here.
Certified.
God, you know, at this point, I can just...
Sometimes you just have to look at them and you know what it's gonna be.
Dude, no one proud of him still being fat.
You know what it's gonna be, bro. Like,
tell what kind of response I'm gonna get just from looking at them. I don't even...
You know what she is? She's the target audience for Concord.
Like using this word, but this is literally the Karen haircut.
Okay,
well,
it
let's hear this one out.
And I'm more than happy to answer your question if you really do want an answer, which I'm not so sure you do.
Just get on with it.
To start,
I refer to myself as fat, and I don't care if other people refer to me as fat, and that's because I don't see the word fat as a bad word. Even if someone tries to insult me by saying you're fat, my response is yes and.
I mean, yeah, she's not wrong.
Right.
It's not a bad word. It's just a pretty bad health condition. And also, if that's the case, then why the fuck does everyone...
I'm also not a big fan of, like, so if somebody is... Like, being mean to somebody for being fat is fundamentally being mean. And I don't agree that a lot of the cases where it's like, oh, well, we're fat shaming you because we want you to lose weight. No, you're fat shaming her because you think it's funny. And I think that's, you want to do that, go ahead and do that. It's fine. But don't go and act like you're trying to help anybody out here.
Get so upset about the word obese. Is it because obese sounds worse than fat? I mean, it does, but
I can think
they
of
both
way
lead
worse
to the
ones
same
than
conclusion. Heart disease.
It took a lot of work to get to this point, and that's because, like many other words in our language, the word fat has a dark history where it has been used to belittle, insult, and dehumanize.
Well, yeah, but you don't really think that.
No, the word fat doesn't need dehumanizing people. It based on the context. If you call someone fat, it may be insulting, but it also pointing out that that person is fat. That is, if I'm pointing at you and I say, okay, you kind of fat, but that basically doesn't mean I'm saying it in sorrow way. I'm just saying I'm looking at you. I see that you're kind of fat. It's not insulting.
Because then you call yourself fat, so like you really think that?
For the most part, to educate, because being fat is not a good thing. It's not a fucking body type like in a video game. No, it actually has consequences in real life. The way you talk about being fat is like it's like being short or having a big nose or having big lips or some shit like that. Those are inherent characteristics which you can't change. You are just literally killing yourself.
So for a lot of people, it's very difficult to shake this history when they hear the word fat.
Because it's an inherently bad thing. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, bone and joint issues, digestion issues. Do I even need to go on?
And if you want the word fat to be used in the same way as skinny, thin, fit, then you need to use
See, here's the thing for me is like, this is a bit of a chip on my shoulder, I'm going to be honest, is that growing up, I was always, look at me, I'm still very, very fucking skinny, right? I'm still very skinny. Growing up, I was also very skinny. I would be made fun of very regularly for being skinny. People would call me names. They would say all kinds of things about me. Now, it would bother me. Nowadays, it doesn't, because now they're in their 30s just like I am, and their knees hurt because they're fat, and I'm not, and I don't have that problem. So, too bad. But back then, and so like I got made fun of all the time for being really, really skinny. I did very regularly. People would say stuff like that about me. Yes.
in a way that's not derogatory, which quite frankly...
Somebody said, did you get called a Holocaust survivor? I didn't. You want to know why? Because we didn't learn about the Holocaust until, like, I don't know, maybe like the second half of senior year. And people are like, damn, bro, so they kill all... Damn, that's crazy. Wow. Oh, what? Damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we didn't even know what the fuck that was. Damn.
You did not do in your video. So if someone you deem fat prefers to refer to their body as curvy or plus size, they have every reason in the world to do so, and you need to respect it. Thanks.
What?
I think that it is like you. So I swear to God, like there's a big difference. So like plus sized is like basically the same as being fat, right? But curvy is not being fat. This is not the same thing. Everybody knows this. Why are we talking about it? True, thank you. Yes, exactly. Thick? Well, there's thick, there's slim thick, and then there's extra thick, and it's pretty obvious which one each one means, right? I would say thick and curvy are pretty much equivalent in a lot of cases. But I hate this. This is, you know what this is? It's false advertising. Okay?
I cannot spread in here.
That's what's going on here. And if you didn't know, false advertising is illegal.
Difference does it make? Listen, mate, if you'd rather be called plus size, then yeah, whatever, sure, fine. The problems you get from obesity.
Fat people are allowed to live whatever they want without feeling guilty over it. I wonder what she's wearing on her face.
Are still gonna be there. How many times do I need to say the same thing before it drills into your abnormally large head? Whether you call it obese or not, it's still gonna be not good. But I guess this rational use of logic can't be expected from fat talk. I mean, they all collectively thought.
Well, they are. The thing is that. Do you remember what Boogie was getting mad at me for earlier about how I said the narcissism thing and the selfishness thing? Remember that? How about that? How about that? That's crazy, isn't it?
It was a good idea to call themselves Fat Talk, for fuck's sake. But another app that rational thought process can't be given to is Twitter. Obviously. I feel like anyone familiar with Twitter could have probably guessed that at this point. No one uses their brains on there. People even found a way to find political discourse in a McDonald's advert. The people on Twitter...
That was stupid, man. Like, I remember that, the McDonald's Japan advertisement.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
That was fucking that was a crazy few days.
People get mad as a McDonald's Japan.
They even got mad at PewDiePie for being a happy, loving father.
You know, karma's a bitch, if not a myth, because if anyone deserves to suffer horribly, it's this Swedish piece of shit. With an AI-generated picture of a space marine from Warhammer 40k. Like, what the fuck? What?
This app is actually hell. Like, actually fucking hell. I refuse to believe that anyone who uses this app is happy in real life. But of course...
Oh yeah, do you know? There is another recent McDonald's ad. Japanese McDonald's ad that basically like... they're similar to the first one. And they... I don't know if the people will get mad at it or not, but bro, it's so dumb. If people getting mad at the McDonald's Japanese ad.
Of course, if they can make big issues...
Twitter is my strongest argument for making the internet 18 plus.
I agree.
Out of literally nothing, I don't see how...
What are these? I want to read this again.
I cannot throw it.
There are a lot of a lot of ads in the West that depict happy families with small kids, but they are not designed to appeal to online Nazi perverts, so you don't notice them. Right. This I can see why.
I don't see
that's
how
for
any
Nazis.
of these are controversial by any means. But you wouldn't believe the fucking uproar when it comes to the word obese. Now I look at dumb people all day. I look at silly people all day. And even I've got to put my hands up and say these are some of the dumbest fucking retards on earth. Fat talk is one thing, but Twitter is another fucking planet, man. Babe, obesity is a medical slur. Love your body. If you want to exercise and eat healthier, that's great. But don't be scammed and bullied into making yourself smaller. There is nothing wrong with being fat. Well,
then why didn't you post a picture of yourself as your profile picture? Why not? I don't know. Who knows?
I fucking beg to differ. This shit kills people, you know. But I guess my main question here is, how is weight loss a scam? I mean, yeah, sure, there are some...
Well, it's simple because you know, well, here's why it's a scam. Is that girl probably went to the grocery store and she saw the magazine with Dr. Oz on it. And it said, take this pill and you can eat donuts all day. And you're going to lose 120 pounds, and you're going to be skinny. And she buys the pill, and she takes it, and it doesn't work. And she's like, what the fuck? The Great Oz buying hope. That's what happened. I bet, yeah. She got scammed by Dr. Oz.
shady weight loss practices, but for the most part, the weight loss journey itself is always a good thing. It's good for your heart, joints, mobility, overall health. You get to live longer. You actually get to sit down in chairs and you don't have to worry about a weight capacity. And you can actually walk without having to waddle around like a fucking penguin. This isn't bullying, this is just facts. Oh wait, sorry about that. I forgot I wasn't supposed to use rational thinking when talking to someone who uses Twitter. My apologies. When you see the fatphobic slur obesity, replace the word in your mind with fat people or fat children, and then see how the headline or proposal reads.
Better. Here, I'll do one myself. People with morbidly obese fat children should have their kids taken away from them and be charged with child abuse or neglect. How about that? Seems pretty fair to me. Yeah, how about that?
Oh god. Anything you propose to do about the fatphobic slur obesity is something you're proposing to do to fat people. And the reason why the word is a slur is because it makes you forget that fat people are people. Okay.
What? I mean, fat people are people. Like, who denies the fact that fat people are not people?
Oh god, like, this is amazing. How does this... Where do these people come from? This is amazing. How do you do this?
Hey, no, mate. No. Whenever someone makes the statement that they want to get rid of obesity, they're talking about the illness obesity. They want to get rid of what...
Yeah, so this person thinks they're gonna like, yeah, we're gonna round up all the fat people and we're gonna shoot them? Who the fuck said that?
Oh my god, keep frozen.
What are you talking about?
These people have and not the people, because they will live a lot shorter lives if they don't get rid of it. Obesity isn't a group of people, it's a health condition. Whenever someone says I want to get rid of cancer, they're not saying they want to kill
every kid with cancer. We're gonna get out. We're gonna end cancer in children. We're gonna get them all together and we're gonna shoot them. There's gonna be no more kids with cancer. Who the fuck thinks like this?
Everyone with cancer. They're saying they want to get rid of the illness.
This is like, that's like the logic that a fucking anime protagonist has.
I want to get rid.
It's like a dumber version of Thanos.
Don't even try and defend the fatphobic slur obesity by saying it's a medical term. It's a medical slur. Is that even a thing? God. Is a medical slur even real? It's either you have the condition or you don't. I don't see how that can be derogatory. It's the word doctors use to deny fat people medical care. Yeah, we know it's used in medicine, causing they're using it to...
Yeah, we know it.
Oh, Murray's alive.
Oh. I think that what they're trying to say is that maybe the medicine is killing them.
God damn.
Kill us. What? You know what? Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Whenever a doctor gives a fat person health advice, they just denying them healthcare. Yeah,
they want them to die.
I hate the term so much. It's so dehumanizing.
What do we have here? Another anime profile picture of a skinny, pretty girl. It's crazy how, like, the dissonance can be right in front of you, and you can't see it.
Felt like a fucking specimen when I read the note my doctor wrote for me in order to get reasonable accommodations at work. Yeah. You know, just getting a little bit silly here. You can do things...
What they're trying...
a fucking specimen when I read the note my doctor wrote for me in order to get reasonable accommodations at work. You know, just getting a little bit silly here. You can do things in your life. I don't know what they are. I don't know what they could possibly be. There are some things out there which can help you lose weight, okay? I don't know what they could possibly be, but they are out there.
Nobody knows. It's an unravelable tapestry of life that nobody can even begin to understand. The human body is full of mysteries, and we've only begun to discover the surface. It's a medical mystery. It's unknowable. There's nothing that you can do.
So if you don't like being obese, then you could maybe give it a try. Just an idea. The term obese is a slur. Violent, dehumanizing. It's anti-black. Well...
It's anti-black. The only implication that you could make with that is racist. That's crazy.
I was going to think, like, how does it...
Wow.
As a colored crayon myself, I don't see how. How can a biological health condition be racist? I am losing.
Well, it's simple. It's because that's a bad word, and the bad people have all the bad words, and so they're bad.
Faith in our species. Hey skinnies, the word obesity is a fat-phobic slur. Stop interacting with posts that use it as a way to combat fatness. I fucking hate y'all for that shit.
Look at this, another cute in-shape anime girl. I wonder if she's fat. I bet she's not.
If you're not fat, stay out of fat people's business. And if you disagree, literally block me.
I love how, like, the idea is that, like, fat people are, like, another... It's like an interest group, right? You have, like, Asian Americans, white people, black people, and then you have fat people. It's like a protected class. Yeah, exactly. It's another species. I guess it's crazy. It's a race? Yeah. Well, it's not, but you know.
Okay, well, you're gonna fucking die. See you later, bro. Calm down, calm down, calm down. It's a joke. It's a joke. Kind of. The term obese is a slur because it is used to dehumanize and harass us. It's not because our feelings are hurt by an accurate description. Well, it is. Because I don't see how it could be anything else. It is an outdated term that does more harm than good. And as such, it should be eradicated. That's it. I've said it many times before, and I'll say it again. Just because you get rid of the word doesn't mean you get rid of what it actually is. The causes and effects of obesity are still going to be a thing, whether you call it...
No, but like, if you think about it from their perspective, that if you stop calling people fat, maybe being fat will go away and it will become normal. Because, like, that's the way they're thinking of it. That's what it is. Why are we acting like these insane opinions to less than 0.01% population are worth talking about? So the reason why it's problematic is that these people put themselves in positions of authority, and then they use this thinking to dictate what other people can and can't say. These are the people that work at your HR office who are constantly trying to call you in, that are mad at you for making some harmless joke. These are the people who are unreasonable and they want everybody else in the world to accommodate their unreasonable behavior. So I think that's the reason why it's I don't want to be told what to think by these people. They're fucking annoying. Actually true. Yeah, that's the reason why. I mean, what are we even talking about? It's a loud minority. And here's the other problem, right? Is that people accommodate this because they think that they're being nice. Oh yeah, let's be nice. You know what I think is also nice? I think that next time, you know, Cletus the crackhead needs another hit of heroin or fentanyl, I'm just gonna give it to him. Because, like, look, if he wants it, I'm being a nice guy. I'm just being a nice guy. I mean, there it is.
Obesity or not, how hard is this to understand? It's almost like education is illegal wherever you people are from. My God. Mercedes claims that obesity is a slur used to exact violence on fat people, particularly black, disabled, trans, poor fat people. Oh God, I'm starting to genuinely...
They're doing the, they're like, this is like whenever I would say something bad, I can never just be a racist. I have to be a homophobic, racist, misogynist, transphobe. Like, they can never play with one piece. They have to use the entire Exodia.
I feel my brain melt at some of this bullshit. What are you talking about? Honestly, what are you talking about? A medical term used to diagnose people is now claimed to be violent. This can't be real life. They want to be victims so badly. It's so fucking cringe. You'll never see anyone defend anorexia or chain smoking like this. So why?
No, it's gross. And I think this is the wanting to be a victim thing is a huge issue.
They do it for obesity. God, this is so fucking weird. Now, I'm not going to claim to be a medical professional by any means, because I'm really not. I only studied anatomy, physiology, and nutrition for around a year.
You don't even need to be a medical professional to see a fat person and look at it and thinking like, oh yeah, they are healthy. Like, no, you can just look at someone and see, yeah, he's not healthy. Basically, just look at asking, well, look at where he lives. Do you even think he lives healthy? No.
Year in college, right? But even with the little amounts of information I have on the subject, I still have more than enough knowledge to claim that being morbidly obese is not a good thing. It's not like a neutral body type like in a video game which has no impact on your gameplay. No, it's not like that. It's a serious medical condition and is terrible for your health. You don't even need to study anything to understand that. I feel like most people can tell what a healthy body looks like compared to an unhealthy one. As long as you have more than 2 lines on your brain, then you should be able to know this. And yet, we have these people. But not only has this ideology seeped itself onto TikTok and Twitter, but it's also seeped itself into actual medical professionals.
No. No, don't tell me doctor doesn't.
I wish I was joking.
If you are obese, please don't ever let a doctor or a healthcare provider tell you that you need to lose weight before they investigate further a symptom that you're having.
Great point. He's totally right. That doctor is 100% right. He is. He's totally right. Absolutely.
You have to be just a guy in a costume, okay? There is no way you have a medical license. Oh my days.
No, I think this was cut out of context. It was. And I think that obviously if you let him explain his point of view, that it would make perfect sense. Because there are instances where people are dismissed because like any problem they have is because they're overweight, and the doctors do dismiss them based off of that, and they don't do further testing. And in fact, the problem could be something different, and it's not being treated properly. This is a huge problem with diagnoses and treatment, and it's absolutely valid and completely true.
Basically, you need to find the diagnosis before.
Dare a medical healthcare provider provide medical healthcare? That's just ridiculous. If you are clinically diagnosed with obesity, then you should lose the weight. If a
absolutely, but it doesn't necessarily mean that every other ailment that you have is a direct outcome of that obesity, right? I think that's what the person is saying, which makes sense.
Professional tells you to do so,
it seems out of context.
Then you should probably do so. A reliable medical professional who actually uses biology, not this bell end.
If they want to delay getting a lab or getting imaging or having you see a specialist, if they want to delay that because they say you need to lose weight first, you need to push back on that person.
She's right.
Or you need to find someone else.
Yeah, true.
Why? If you're obese and you're suffering from symptoms and you decide to lose the weight, there is a high possibility that those symptoms can lessen down, making treatment.
There is a possibility, but the possibility is not 100%. And I think that it's high enough to where it's worth doing a test and to check and see.
And a lot easier for everyone involved. Any doctor in their right state of mind would understand this.
Because your health problems are not just blamed on your obesity or
which
the
is very true
issue that you have.
Yeah, you graduated on Roblox, bro.
Yeah, no, it definitely is the case. That is absolutely true. He's right.
There's no fucking way you have a master's degree. This may be news.
Somebody brought up a really good point in chat. They said, have you ever noticed that all of the people that are promoting obesity are really young? That is interesting. Because I think that you're right. I didn't see a lot of older people that were promoting obesity. I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Maybe it's, I know why, guys. It's because older people don't use YouTube as much.
To you.
That must be the reason.
But being fat
no, that's the reason.
Is a health issue.
For sure.
And will be the cause of 99% of the problems these people have. You'd like...
Not 99%, right? But like, it's like usually, this is like, for example, like COVID, right? Like COVID was a really good example of a lot of the people that got killed by COVID, they were overweight. A lot of them were, right? And it's like being fat is like it's like having 5 stacks of Sunder armor, okay? So, like, if you have 5 stacks of Sunder armor, a attack that would maybe do like 100 damage to you would now do 200 damage, right? It's like a debuff, right? In PoE, it's like you have elemental weakness. Now you have, you know, like reduced armor. Now you have like, you know, damage taken increase, right? It's a debuff. And so if something hits you with that debuff on, well, now it's going to be doing enhanced damage.
This weapon is so good. Look at it.
To believe a doctor would know this.
You are allowed to have other health problems.
True.
As well, and you deserve the respect and dignity of investigating those other symptoms as well.
True. Completely agree with the guy. Totally agree with him.
Yeah, but what about the main symptom that is visible? Are you serious? If this person
Well,
walks
they're not
into
mutually exclusive.
your office and says, "Oh, doc, my joints hurt," are you gonna say, "Oh, let me go investigate that further"? No, idiot. The problem is pretty obvious. It doesn't need much investigation. You'd like to,
bro? They push her. Are you kidding me?
Oh, he's stuck at the door. You close your leg. God damn it.
Oh my god. No, bro.
You'd like to believe a medical professional would understand this, but clearly not. Jeez, man. Us evolving backwards really was an understatement. We've got people genuinely walking around thinking that there's absolutely nothing wrong with being morbidly obese. And there's even people thinking we shouldn't even say the word obese.
Yeah, I think that, again, like, the doctor part, I actually agree with the doctor. I think the doctor is right. And I think that there could be big issues that... Obviously, obesity is like a major health problem and it should be addressed, but obesity doesn't always 100% of the time explain every symptom a person would be having. And that's why you have those other tests. Like, that's, of course, the reason why. Can we still say morbidly obese, right? For now. Yeah. Why is this topic only a thing in the USA? Because in the USA, there's a lot of identity politics issues. So people try to figure out ways to put themselves into identity groups, which is one of the reasons why I think that a lot of the people there are fat white women, is because obviously as a white person, you don't have any sort of like, what do you call it? Like a marginalized identity. And I think that people like that want to have a marginalized identity. So they look for ways that they can make themselves marginalized. And so they don't have to acknowledge that they're living with the most privilege that any person has ever experienced in the history of time. But they don't want to think about that. They want to find a way to victimize themselves. So that's the reason why it happens.
Also simultaneously thinking
and
that
I understand that this is a very mean thing to say. And this is, it's maybe I get a little bit too real here. But this is absolutely what's happening, and everybody knows it.
Nothing wrong with being obese, but if that's the case, then why shouldn't we be able to say it? I mean, is it a slur? Is it liberating? Is it fat phobic? I don't even fucking know anymore. Every time I try and understand this stuff, I just get a headache. But there you have it. Modern society. Calling people who are objectively unhealthy is now derogatory. And the word obesity should now be censored. But at the same time should be liberated and celebrated, and just, I give up. Every time I come back to this plus size agenda, it just makes less and less sense. But anyways, guys, this is in fact the end of the video.
Well, it makes perfect sense if you think about it from the perspective of I'm doing everything I can to justify my behavior that I've already decided to do. So you're thinking about it from the logic of why does this make sense? But stop thinking about making sense and start thinking about making excuses, and now it makes a lot more sense.
If you liked, please leave a like, and if you didn't, then feel free to degrade me in the comments. I hope my braces and newfound speech didn't affect the video too much, but if it did, then sorry about that. I'm still in my...
Somebody brings up a really good point. I'm gonna pull this one up in chat. There's actually a positive chatter. Imagine that. Being fat was a status symbol centuries back as a sign of an overabundance of resources. So unless the cause is medical, being fat is a privilege. That is actually that is an insane 4D chess. That the fact that you're overweight is evidence of your privilege.
I mean, that's true. A lot of people are not allowed.
Bro, like that's oh my god. I feel like that's a whole new strategy. That's crazy. I love it. Oh man.
My adapting phase, so I'm not fully normal just yet. But like I said earlier, I had to make this video. There was no way I was ignoring this. But yeah, hopefully next video I don't sound like fucking Timmy Turner. But with all that said, all my links and socials are in the description. Feel free to follow me.
Yeah, people just enjoy it. Want to be champion of something, so yeah. So just imagine some guy who's short, some guy who below 5'5", and tell them, yeah, don't call me short. Call me, call me a dwarf or something. It just, but it's even with that, with a short person cannot like determine how tall they are. You know, it's just fighting champion, fighting like nothing at this point. Well, it's getting late for me. I'm just gonna head off. I will make, I will stream tomorrow and gonna finish the mods. So yeah, finish the mod tomorrow. I will kill the final boss. I don't know if I can even kill the final boss. We haven't gone that far. But yeah, see you tomorrow. Bye bye.